Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Blue Thunder Pod WWE edition. I am your host, Billy Sullivan. With me, as always, the lovely and talented, salt of the earth, Dave Olinovich.
Yes, I'll take it.
If you hadn't already listened to our other output today, we've broken the Blue Thunder Pod up into two sections. We're going to be doing the WWE section here. But if you are looking for the AEW section, either now or once you listen to this, it will be going up, as I said, at the same time as this. We just wanted to break it down into more bite-sized, digestible size portions. So if you're looking for AEW, go check it out. It's going up at the same time. Right now we're going to be talking about the WWE world as of this week. Mostly Raw, but because Raw was incredibly eventful. But we'll go over some SmackDown stuff too. Dave, any general thoughts about the week in WWE television programming?
They're humming along, and WrestleMania is right around the corner, so we're in that kind of awkward phase where we have to stretch for time. They even acknowledge that
Cody, it was all over. I loved it.
Yeah, when we get to Raw, he said that boy. What was it, last week or 2 weeks ago? He said he's Homelander, like he said it with his mouth. Yeah. He just the man says what we think and
everything. And he also the thing, and this is more of a general Cody thing. It just made me think of it because Roman's starting to feel like he's getting sucked up by the orbit of the much bigger star Rock now. You know who's not getting sucked up by the orbit of the Rock? Fucking Cody. Yeah, look, Cody is being elevated.
Absolutely.
Which that says a ton about Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Like he feels like a bigger star every time the Rock addresses him. Yeah. Meanwhile, like Roman, I'm like, I don't even give a shit about the Roman Cody match now. I just want the Rock Cody. And
it's funny you mention that because after both of these shows, I felt that there was a more clear division of who the top guys in the company are. Yeah. Like people really stepped up. In these shows. Yeah. And
we mentioned in the other half of this week's episodes, iron sharpens iron, dude.
Yes.
Like there's people
1000%.
It makes the top guys really step up, and you got to stand when you got the Rock there doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
If you don't step up hard, you're going to get sucked into the middle ground real fast.
Yes. So,
and Cody's he's unbelievable, man.
Yeah, he's. I was skeptical. They were going to be able to do it twice, second year in a row. But this year's way more fun than
my God. I'm so much more invested right now than I was. And I've been a huge Cody fan.
Yeah.
Going way back. Been a
crybaby forever.
Yeah. I used to have to argue with the other Freakazoid AEW fan base because they, he doesn't understand. I'm like, he fucking understands. And it's been one of the most satisfying things ever watching him become the biggest babyface since like Stone Cold Steve Austin. Yeah. Because I was goddamn right.
Purely organically too.
Yeah.
Purely organic.
He's the guy left WWE, revolutionized indie wrestling, sold out 10,000 seats on an indie show, and then got the first viable competitor wrestling company since WCW 25 years ago started.
Yeah.
Then he came back and was just like, all right, I'm just going to be the biggest babyface ever in a way that nobody's done it in like 30 years. Just being a dorky babyface. Yeah. Yes, dude. I'm not going to be heel and be a badass. Like, he's unbelievable.
Yeah. I like that you said Stone Cold and not John Cena. Because
it's difference. It's different.
There's a massive difference.
He's not divisive.
No.
Everybody just loves him.
Yes. And he's good at everything he touches. But we'll a lot of Cody on these two shows. They are leaning on their big matches. They're pushing hard with WrestleMania right around the corner, and they should be.
Yeah,
they should be pushing all of their established shit.
Dude, I haven't been this excited for a WrestleMania. I mean, WrestleMania always even when I don't give a shit about WWE at all, I always get excited for WrestleMania because it's WrestleMania. Yeah. But I haven't actually been excited for like the event, the thing that's going to happen. I can't tell you, and how like this. Yeah, it's been decades probably. this much,
this much excitement. Like, not in my
what's gonna happen? Holy
not in my
shit.
adult life.
Like, yeah,
no, absolutely not. But with that being said, we should get crack-a-lacking.
Yeah, sorry.
Got it? No. Oh, no. I want to. I want to sit here for the next 2 minutes and try to think the last time I was excited for a wrestler. But
there was times SmackDown 6, like you mentioned, and there was 2016 where there's matches,
but comprehensive.
But like this,
yeah,
particularly at the top of the card, it's like Rock Austin days or something, man. Like to have this much.
It
juice.
might be since 17.
Yeah.
Like for real.
There, yeah.
Like, I can't remember the last.
I mean, spoiler alert, I did just mention it right before we started this podcast, but the Raw that just aired was the best Monday Night Raw that I've seen since probably 2001.
Yeah.
So, and I don't think it's crazy to say that this is the most anticipated Mania since around that same time.
Absolutely. So, yeah, I want to talk about Raw. We have to talk about SmackDown, so let's put the cart before the horse here. It opened with Rey Mysterio versus Santos Escobar. Rey Mysterio is a 49-year-old man. He moves like he is 21 years old.
He's like we're doing the classic pay-per-view stuff now, and it doesn't matter. He doesn't change throughout the years. He's just awesome in the same way for the last 30 years.
And he does that spot where he slides on his belly outside of the ring and does a splash. I don't know how that doesn't break his chest open the entire
freaking
every time he
physical
does
marvel. It's wild. He's had major injuries too.
Yes,
and he's just back and fine.
And he was back in his old school tights kind of gear, not like his I have a knee brace on, puffy pants.
The big the 90s pants.
I'm like, this guy's ageless, right? I loved him. This match was pretty fun. And this, I think, should be a WrestleMania match. I got a feeling that they're going to go with a multi-man with the two LWOs and Legado del Fantasma or whatever it's called. But these two are the big bads of their respective factions. Yeah. And it just, I don't know. I haven't been paying much attention to it.
Yeah, it's hard to care about it because it's the same thing that the WWE has been doing for my whole life. They always have to mush all the Mexican guys together. Yeah. I'd rather they do a feud with Chad Gable or somebody other dude that can really go that isn't a luchador.
Yes.
So then it doesn't. They don't have to be in that box. But yeah, it's gonna rule. It's gonna be a great match just because it's they're all great workers.
Yeah, and they put the time in. So
yeah. I still don't care about it. I can't just because
No. And it was fun for what it was, but it's definitely a lower mid card, almost kind of feud. The finish was,
which by the way, they deserve better than that.
1000%.
So that's why I would like that to diversify your booking with your lucha guys and occasionally.
Bonds. Yeah. The finish saw Dominic Mysterio
buy gold and hide it under your mattress.
Dominic Mysterio grabbed Rey Mysterio's foot when Rey was going for a springboard. He was probably going for, what is that, the West Coast Pop? He doesn't really do that anymore, where he does the seated senton.
Oh, that's
springboard.
Right. He really doesn't.
No. That used to be this.
I'll give him that one. It's because ass bumps that fucking kill you. That's like Bobby Eaton and Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's why Hulk Hogan's ninth.
Stone Cold, too.
Yeah.
All the crazy stuff that we've watched over the years, it is nuts that what turned out to be the thing that really kills you.
Sitting down a lot.
It's just regular butt bumps. It's more than any back bumps, face bumps,
you're not
table
wrong.
spots.
And I know Austin and Hogan, I want to do this because I want to do this move so I could do it on literally anybody.
Because it seems like something that you could do for 30 years.
Yeah.
It turns out, no, it compresses your spine and you never can walk comfortably again the rest of your life.
You are too short. You cannot ride this ride anymore.
Yeah.
How humiliating would that be if you leg drop yourself?
That's a lot of stunners.
If you leg drop yourself out of being able to ride roller coasters. That's funny. Come on, brother. I was here last year. I was able to get on, no problem. Sorry, Hulk. Dominic Mysterio grabbed Rey Mysterio's foot when he went for a springboard into the ring. He's wearing a Rey Mysterio mask. And I
don't remember any of this.
Oh, I got you. Don't worry.
Too much wrestling.
And an LWO shirt. And the commentators are trying to be like, it's another Rey Mysterio. He has tattoos in his own face. We know who he is.
They just are so used to saying every luchador for the last 30 years is the next Rey Mysterio. Yeah. Even if the lucha guy doesn't wrestle anywhere close to the same kind of style as Rey.
And we all know his son's body type and gear.
He's on TV a bunch every week.
He's very famous. He's very famous. this distracted Rey Mysterio. This led to a Phantom Driver win for Escobar. So that's that. I can't imagine they're not going to tee up something for Mania. Maybe something on the pre-show, which unfortunately Rey Mysterio on the pre-show, but it is what it is. They recap the Bayley versus Dakota Kai match from last week when Bayley's just getting beat down like crazy. I have a fun story. So I was traveling this week, and I went to Austin, Texas, and I came home Wednesday.
Sex toy convention he was there for.
I got so much swag that you would not believe.
There's gallons of lube.
Oh.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. I had to pay for an extra bag for the lube.
Can you fill my bag with the lube, please, sir?
Just right in the bag. Just right in the bag.
Shoot it right in there.
It's a hard case. It's going to seep out. It's like that's the airline's problem.
Sir, that's a paper bag. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead.
I'll call it what I think it is. So I'm at the Austin, Texas airport, and this past Wednesday. I'm there about 7 o'clock in the morning, and I am going through security, and there's like a person that's not cooperating, taking their shoes off or getting their stuff out of the bin.
Is it CM Punk?
No, it's not CM Punk. So there's two kids working there, and they go, "Is that her?" I hear them talking. I go along, "Is that her?" And I lean around. It's fucking Bayley.
No shit.
She's 5 feet in front of me.
Wait, was she being uncooperative?
No, she was not the lady that was.
Okay.
It was. And
I was going to be heartbroken. I love Bayley.
I only mentioned the lady because she was keeping me. It was like me, this uncooperative woman, and Bayley.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and the two kids who work there, and you're not supposed to do this at an airport. They zip around to the other side, and they're like, "Can we get a photo with you?" And
was it like Brock Lesnar guy and Frank the Clown?
Yeah, not Frank the Clown. He's actually
he's cool. He's like
he could probably
married into it and stuff now.
But he like also knows them. Like he's
I'm sorry. Apologies to Frank the Clown. I should not have grouped him in with Brock Lesnar guy. Yeah. It was just the fans that are famous for being fans. The only one that jumped to front of mind besides the douchebag is Frank the
Clown. No, Frank's a sweetie.
Brock Lesnar guy, if you're listening to this podcast by any chance, you were super rude when you were over to my house like 6 years ago for a pay-per-view. Sorry, continue.
No, you're fine. That comes from a place right there. It's deep in your bowels. So so they zip around and they want to take a photo with her. And like again, it's 7:15 in the morning, and like it's unmade up.
Plus,
Bayley.
Every bad story ever about wrestling fans is always you're stalking people at airports,
which is precisely why I did not. I didn't even like wave or we were putting our shoes on. Like you have to sit down like to get you dressed again after you go through security. She's putting her shoes on. I'm putting my shoes on. We kind of glanced at each other, and then like we were kind of walking in the same direction. I made sure to like stay like 10 feet behind her because I don't want to think I'm.
I have an internal thing that I know that like I have it ready to unleash if I do ever run into wrestlers or whatever in those like or any famous people, but really wrestlers, the ones I give a shit about.
Yeah.
And I have it specifically set up where. It's a thing that they don't even have to respond to. And that's why I will say, big fan with the thumbs up, and that's all. Let them know I'm a big fan. You do not need to respond.
Yeah,
and then I go my separate ways.
That's good. I would have liked that. Yeah, I'm stealing that. That's good stuff. I did not want to contribute to the culture of people that harass people at airports, especially at 7 a.m. Like she went right to get a coffee.
The reason that like all the people online hate Sasha Banks because she's big quotes. She's rude to when it's really like she's just tired of being harassed at 5 a.m. in an airport.
I could tell like she was just hungry. It was right in the morning. It was cool that I got to see her, and she was that close, and I'm like...
It was Bayley, too, so you probably could have been a weirdo, and she would have been cool about it.
I'm content with seeing her.
Yes, I'm happy.
I was very happy. I was very excited. So after they recap the Bayley versus Dakota match and Damage Control beat down Bayley, it's become 4-on-1. Or was it 1, 2, 3? Yeah, 4-on-1.
Yeah.
They went backstage with Bayley and Naomi. Bayley... Naomi came out to help Bayley. Forgot to mention that. So during the beatdown after the Bayley Dakota match, Naomi came out So in this backstage segment this week, Bayley thanks Naomi. Naomi says she's got her sights on Io, who she's fighting later tonight.
I know I watched this.
Yeah.
I have no memory of any. It's like pushed out by the too much wrestling that we consume. Did it feel like Naomi was aligning with Bayley for the future?
We're getting there.
Okay.
We're getting there. By the way, Naomi's acting skills are... Bayley says she never meant for Naomi to get in the middle of all this. She's, in walks Bianca Belair.
She needs some friends.
She's getting friends.
Yeah.
So in walks Bianca Belair. Bianca calls Bayley out for attacking her for the last 2 years. Yay, continuity, which good. I liked. Bayley.
Yeah, I hate when somebody turns face and it's immediately
water under the bridge.
None of that matters.
No.
Bianca, you set my house on fire, Randy Orton, but we're good now because you said that you like each and every one of these fans.
Yeah. Each and every one of you. Bianca goes on to say that she knows that Bayley's not sorry, but she's only sorry because it's catching up to her. Like Bayley's Bianca's dropping.
It's getting real.
Yeah, it's actual. It's like, I agree with everything she's saying. Bianca goes on to say she's everything coming her way is deserved, and actions have consequences. Right. Like Bianca scolding Bayley like a fucking toddler.
He's wrestling, so she's probably turning heel by just speaking honest truths and having absolutely normal human reactions to what has been done to her.
What I think is going to happen is it's going to be Bianca Belair and Naomi against the Kabuki Warriors for the tag titles at WrestleMania.
It's 2 black ladies and it's WWE. So
and they also have nothing to do with one of their biggest goddamn stars.
I'm not going to, whatever. That's a great match. It'd be an awesome match.
It's going to be, that's where I think that's the only logical way.
It's like the second best match of WrestleMania if they do that, now that I think about
it. Next they had Waller and Theory versus the Good Brothers. I refuse to call them the OC since AJ Styles is not even fucking a part of it anymore. Carl Anderson looked...
Those guys are Hall of Fame at the bank.
Yeah.
Worked. They're like the Undertaker's hero. They would be the heroes in the Undertaker's world.
Yeah.
Like, do as little work as you can and get paid.
Absolutely.
Or Kevin Nash, I'd say, more than Undertaker. Like the very old school mentality.
Yeah. And eventually don't show up to anything ever because you hate the fans. Carl Anderson should be pushed as a single, by the way. He worked his goddamn ass off in this match, and he looked fucking awesome.
He's awesome. He's always been awesome.
Yeah.
He doesn't always want to work, though.
Oh, is that what it is?
He kind of likes that lifestyle and also not having like cervical and spine injuries and stuff, which I understand.
With his wants to spend time with his hot Asian wife. Yeah.
He and I have that also. And, so I feel a kinship with Carl Anderson in that way.
I'm going to squeegee my eyes real fast to make sure you're not Carl Anderson. Nope.
We also bald as fuck, both of us. But
he does look like a younger Paul Ellering,
yes, he does.
which I liked.
Paul Ellering has never been younger.
No.
He's only ever been the same age as he is right now, and he was in 1986.
The finish of this was so Gallows clotheslines Grayson Waller over the top rope, and then Austin Theory schoolboys and gets his feet on the ropes to win the match.
Sounds great.
Great. Okay. They do a Braun Breaker promo, and they seemed like they were advertising him for the NFL in this promo. So they gave some of his stats, his lifting stats. So his in-ring... Oh, no, these lifting stats are part of it. But his in-ring shuttle is 4.27 seconds. He hits the ropes at 23 miles per hour.
Like, I don't know. I have no frame of reference for that, but I've seen Braun Breaker hit the ropes, and it's very fast.
23.
It's Takeshita-like.
Yeah. I don't think I can drive my bicycle 23 miles an hour.
I know that, like, when NFL running backs, when they do, like, who was the fastest for the whole season, it's usually like a 4-yard stretch where a running back was going 24 miles an hour or something. So it's fast.
He's absolutely fast. His broad jump is 10 feet, 2 inches.
Yeah, that's a long way to jump when you're a 265-pound man.
His 40-yard is 4.37 seconds.
Can that be right? That's like an NFL receiver.
It was on TV. It's on TV.
It's a weird thing to. I know that they like gimmick everybody's height and everything.
Yeah.
But to do stats like that and because he did play college football, right?
Maybe.
Like,
I'm not sure, to be honest with you.
Discoverable.
Yeah. Did he go to Michigan? That would be on brand for his family.
If he didn't, or if he did, it's unfortunate that Jim Ross has not had an opportunity to mention it 500 times.
Making his chops over there. Yeah, they got one that was at Michigan.
The 40, I know 40 times so well because it's like something that they judge.
Yeah.
They watch very closely, like the NFL combines, and I'm a big draft nerd and stuff.
Yeah.
4.340 is very fucking fast.
4.37. Well, I mean, it's probably, they don't lie about stat. Like, remember when Mr. Perfect threw a perfect pass to himself?
Yes.
Like, he did that.
I'm sure, yeah.
Braun Breaker's vertical jump is 38.5 inches.
That's a good. That's like a top NBA player. The highest one I've ever heard of was like Vince Carter. It was like 43 or something.
Oh, he was right there then. And then this is what blew me away because this is the only thing I do. His bench press, 225 for 38 reps.
And that's like it's maybe the most impressive of all of them, and also the one I believe the most, probably, because the dude is a house.
I'm going to clarify just so I don't get shit on. I bench press. I do not bench press 225 for 38 reps. No. Next,
I believe the rope running too.
Well,
he flies off the ropes, and the only there's only a couple of guys comparable to Takeshi Ospreay. And that's it, basically. This is Braun Breakers and the other guy. They can do that.
Absolutely. So they're just pumping up Braun Breaker as like this athletic specimen, which I'm for because I like Braun Breaker and I want him to do well.
Yeah, he's great.
Up next, they played the clip when Roman Reigns was on the Pat McAfee show. And he says, Cody was off doing who cares, a whole lot of nothing. He saw what we were doing in the WWE, and he wanted to be a part of that. Dwayne saw what we were doing, and he wanted to be a part of that. Roman says, I'm the only guy who didn't have to go to Hollywood. Hollywood came to me. He came off as like a huge cocky heel in this, which, good.
I like that. Roman needs to do what Swerve did this week. It's time for him to have like a, holy shit, you are a big goddamn deal. Because I haven't felt like that. With him in weeks.
Well, he's not.
And he's main eventing.
Since The Rock came back. Yeah. I mean, you said it. The match is Cody Rock.
I want Rock. I don't even care if Rock can wrestle. I just want to see that because it's the awesomest possible story.
Yeah. But that's what the story's been.
Yeah.
Like Roman is secondary. And Seth is like.
Seth is like NXT. He may as well be.
It's bad. It's bad. To the point where he has to bring up Becky in every promo now.
Yeah. It's not good.
Who also is not.
Punk also fucking castrated him this week with like 2 sentences.
I don't think I've ever wrote so much of a promo word for word. I have pages of the CM Punk promo. We'll get to that on Raw. So, yeah, that's it. They're just, again, killing time. They have really nothing to do with Roman in the meantime. So, and I really like that Pat McAfee has guys on and has long form interviews.
Yeah.
If they're staying in character, it really tests their mettle. Like, how good are you at staying in character? Because it's an actual interview.
There are very few that can do the MJF, do a 2-hour interview and never break it.
It's rare. It's cool. It's like a new medium where I want more of that, and I want more people exposed to that. Because again, like you were saying with the AEW review, metal sharpens metal.
Yeah,
iron sharpens iron.
Yeah.
Next was Io versus Naomi. Io's music hits and Damage Control come out, the rest of them, but Io does not. They cut backstage, and Io's stomping the shit out of Bayley.
Oh.
Which, not the way I thought it was going.
No.
Which makes Bayley look kind of like a geek.
They've been doing Bayley a little dirty.
Yeah.
In this lead in. I'm a huge Bayley guy. I was really hoping they would do by this time have it turned full circle where she's back to hugger. She's never had that opportunity on the main roster to be that character, which is my favorite character she's ever done. And she's just intrinsically and naturally great at it. And she hadn't felt like they think of her as big a deal as I do.
No. No, you're I mean, this proves it. When have you ever heard of somebody having their entrance delayed because they had to stop off and beat somebody up?
Yeah, no. And I think she's better than Becky Lynch at most everything.
Everything.
So
man, Becky. I can't wait to get to that. The match was good. Io's fucking great.
She's awesome.
She's so
she's
good.
An awesome wrestler.
Naomi's by comparison not. Like
but
she's serviceable.
Like, Naomi was really good, but Io's great.
Io's like she made Naomi look very mid in this match.
I think Naomi has a similar thing that I've talked about with a lot of wrestlers. Naomi can do all of the things. She's like the high spots and stuff.
Yeah.
It's the in-between stuff. It's like the veteran,
Yes.
this kind of stuff that, it just takes your game to a different level. Even if you don't realize when you're watching it that that's the thing that's doing that, it's one of those things that, like, if a movie, if they edit it in a weird way that doesn't follow a 3-act structure, you're watching it. You don't think, oh, this is not 3-act structure. You just think this feels like it's not as good.
Yeah.
It does not paste as well. That in between shit, that's what like adds to it. And like the top Japanese stars, all of them, Io Sky specifically,
I mean, it's entire
they
faction.
always like you have to be a young lion for a million years for a reason.
Yeah.
Just to learn all that shit.
Well, it's good. It works.
It does.
It works. The end of this had Io hit the moonsault after damage control. Interfered after the match. It's a 4-on-1 beatdown of Naomi. Naomi gets mist in the eyes. Mist in the eyes.
What color?
It was I don't know. Either red or green. Something Christmassy.
I was hoping it was like purple.
Oh, could
something I've never seen.
Very
before.
could have. Red feels correct. I don't know why.
Do you know the Great Muta? When he invented introduced the mist, the green mist. It was not in Japan. It was on his first excursion to the United States.
Oh.
He did it in San Francisco.
Oh, he saw it at a club and he's like, "I'm stealing that."
Probably.
Bianca comes out to make the save, but she gets stomped as well. So yeah, the more they got to do something with Bianca. I'm very fine with this being a tag title match.
Yeah, that's going to be great. Yeah. Like my dream was just because they doesn't seem like they're doing anything with her. I would have liked to see Bianca and Tiffany Stratton just because that's like the two best athletes in the women's division.
Yeah, it's a nice showcase.
It'd be cool to see them wrestle it. But
they're not doing nothing with her.
Tag match is
either.
probably going to be a better match.
That's a good point.
She had a good tweet about that. She's like, I just want to tell everybody, stop asking me about what my schedule is for WrestleMania weekend, because I'm tired of answering it. I'm going to put it up here right now. 8 a.m. Saturday to 12 p.m. Saturday, Tiffy time. 12 p.m. Saturday to 3 p.m. Saturday, Tiffy time. And so on.
Yeah. That's funny. Oh, I like that. I hope they do something with her. She's very good. Jade Cargill promo next. She declares formally that she is now on SmackDown, which I thought was the case.
I thought we did this already.
And her first appearance on SmackDown will be next week. Which
wrestling?
It just says first appearance.
Okay.
So...
it's different than the thing I was bitching about for half the other podcast with Mercedes Budde, but I still get her in the ring. It's been a long time now.
Especially since they're clearly not doing anything with her for Mania. Now that we have a couple weeks of nothing, just do something with her.
Yes.
And this is the go home SmackDown, so tee something up for after Mania. They're plugging the new Bray Wyatt documentary. Which is coming out April 1st, Becoming Immortal, which I hear is very good.
I'm sure. Is he going into the Hall of Fame this year? I forget.
So I
know they talked about it, but then I saw a Mike Rotunda thing that made me think that maybe they were holding off.
They're holding off just for the sake of the family.
Yeah. It's
very fresh. The Undertaker said something stupid.
That Bray Wyatt should have broken the streak?
Did you read that?
Yeah.
He said it would be the most credible... No, the guy that was the MMA World Heavyweight Champion.
And then it went on the most dominant streak in WWE recent history.
Man, The Undertaker can you stop?
I feel like that's him trying to be a good guy, too. He just is not great at knowing what the right thing to say is.
No. And I'm sure he meant it.
Also, why isn't he in prison? He killed Paul Bearer. There's no...
Well, he was in prison. They can't keep him in there because he has lightning powers.
He's lightning his way out.
He's breaking out.
Just open all the electric doors.
And they've tried to kill him with the electric chair, but,
Just if there's any law enforcement listening.
He is an electric chair.
There's no statute of limitations on murder. So,
The Undertaker is a free man. Just be careful. If he picks his hands up,
wear a rubber suit or something when you go to arrest them.
Something flame retardant would be in your best interest. They go backstage and they show Bianca is rinsing mist out of Naomi's eyes. Tiffany Stratton walks by saying it's a good look, and then she walks off.
She's great.
That's all. They have Kevin Owens and Nick Aldis backstage. And then Kevin Owens he's asking why he had to find out about his WrestleMania plans on Logan Paul's podcast.
Good point. What are his plans? Is Kevin Owens going to be at WrestleMania
this
year?
Oh, yeah. No, they're doing something dope.
It's my favorite wrestler in the company.
Aldis's reply was because he's a sponsor, which I liked.
Yeah.
And KO goes, I'll give you $20 a week, which I thought was good. Pretty Deadly walks in, and they claim it's a conspiracy that they are not on WrestleMania, even though they're a jobber tag team.
I love them, though.
Oh, the characters are perfect.
They're fantastic. They're good in the ring, too.
Kevin Owens challenges Pretty Deadly to a tag match next week with his partner that he teamed up with not too long ago. It's going to be him and Randy Orton against Pretty Deadly. And then I like that KO's...
I like that.
Yeah.
I like Randy. Like I said several times on this very podcast, Randy Orton is a tag wrestler and should very much be that.
So you'll be very happy. Oh, tag wrestler, yes, but...
And tagging with my favorite guy.
So at WrestleMania, it is Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton versus Logan Paul for the United States Championship.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Yeah. That's going to be fun.
If Randy Orton's not tagging, then a multi-man is a good spot for him, too.
So he doesn't have to work the whole time.
And Kevin Owens is the best guy in the WWE at, hiding people, the lack of experience.
Yeah.
Like people like Logan Paul have. That's going to be great.
Yeah. I was pretty excited and that's what he said. How come I had to find out about it on Logan Paul's podcast? KO's doing this thing where he knocks out two people with one punch.
Oh yeah, the first time he did it, popped me with the two knuckleheads, the WWE version of the Ass Boys, the Australian one and the
Waller
meatball.
And
I think they were the first ones that he did the two.
Yeah. Well, he did it again here.
Nice.
Both of the Pretty Deadly guys are on screen, and Kevin Owens kind of comes. He's off camera and he punches them both. And then as he does it, he yells off screen again. He's like, "I did it, Randy! I did it!" He was so excited he did it. So that'll be a lot of fun. That'll be a very dope triple threat match. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. They recap now. LA Knight attacking AJ Styles at his house. AJ Styles has to change his address or something because that's the second time he's been attacked at his own home. So they're filming AJ's training for his WrestleMania match.
Why do they hate each other? Why did AJ fly to Australia to attack LA Knight?
That's the whole
now
crux.
We're at home invasion.
That's the whole crux
I'm
of
not
this.
even sure why they were even angry.
He only went to Georgia, which is not too far.
It was a home invasion. No, right?
He didn't even get into the house. No, the way they shot this was kind of
attempted home invasion.
It was attempted home
because he was going there for a reason, right?
So LA Knight. So AJ Styles is sitting on his weight bench. WWE's in storyline filming his training for his match with LA Knight at WrestleMania, and they
Why did AJ get all swole too? By the way,
why?
Yeah, he's
he doesn't look
wrestled
good.
for 30 years with one body style.
Yeah,
and then decided 6 months ago,
he looks like
I'm going to get all swole.
Remember the Garbage Pail Kids movie?
Yes, of course I do.
That's exactly what I think of when I see. Good for him
because he's puffy.
He's very puffy.
But the tattoo down the ribs looks cool when you're svelte.
Yeah.
Not when you're a big swole guy.
Yeah.
Plus, he's AJ Styles.
Yeah, his head doesn't match his body.
No, it doesn't.
But it's like they had an extra Randy Orton body and an AJ Styles head, and they're like, this will fit. So they're filming in the basement. And they hear a car horn honking, and it's LA Knight. He's just in AJ Styles' front lawn honking his horn.
Does LA Knight drive a yellow Humvee?
He does not. No, it was a dark car. I don't remember what it was. But they do something kind of clever where the cops are just there immediately, and they use the dash cam and the body cam.
White neighborhood then?
To it's AJ. He's in Atlanta, Georgia.
It's AJ too. It's flat earther. It definitely doesn't have any neighbors of color.
Rich gated community AJ Styles. That's why the cops were there so fast. Yeah. It's a gated community.
That's why I asked.
Yeah. And then. Yeah, they fight for a second, and then LA Knight rightfully gets handcuffed and put into a cop car.
And tried to break into the man's house.
Yeah, I'm trying to wonder why this is the face in the feud.
Yeah, because WWE has never understood that the good guys should do good stuff.
Yeah.
And the bad guys should do bad stuff.
Because it worked once when Austin did the home invasion.
If you're the awesomest heel ever, then it's okay to do that. Yeah. You probably shouldn't keep trying to book that.
No.
For forever.
So these two are fighting at Mania. I just straight up don't care. It should be fine.
LA Knight is cool. Fuck off.
He can be done. I'm done with him. there's on this brand as well, this show, WWE, because there's another company that's doing a tag team title tournament as well. But this is kind of different. There's a tag team qualifying match to get into the title match at WrestleMania, which for all intents and purposes is tournament based. Sure. So this
and
is
the WWE one, I'm sure they'll get to the finals and then they'll do Judy Backwell on a pole because that's the way they do business.
That's the 6-man ladder match or the 6-team ladder match at WrestleMania for the tag titles. This is the Street Profits versus AOP. I initially wrote, these are my only 2 notes. I'm over the Street Profits, and then I take it back. Angelo Dawkins is really good.
I like both of them. For different reasons. I think they're both great, but I would break them up at this point and let them do single stuff because they're both interesting in their own way.
But they're with the Bobby Lashley thing.
I don't
new
care.
Hurt business.
Don't care about Bobby Lashley. As I've said in the past, when Bobby Lashley is on my screen, I just see an empty space in the shape of Bobby Lashley.
Yeah.
He's that uninteresting.
Yeah.
Did the Authors of Pain go to prison for like 6 years? Because they disappeared.
Away.
They were awesome in NXT and did when NXT was killing it with the tag matches, DIY and all those guys. And then they left NXT.
No, they came up. They were in Seth Rollins' initial
They were on the main roster.
Yeah.
But then they were gone and they didn't go to the Indies or AEW or Japan or anywhere. They were just off the earth for 5 years, and now they're back, and they look exactly the same.
Yeah, they just got in their DeLoreans.
I like them, but it's just very confusing.
I have no idea. They have such cool offense,
I like
the Super Collider,
very
the double power thing.
Team. Yeah,
their finish sucks. It's like that Russian leg sweep.
Yeah, they
clothesline.
do 6 moves that are better than their finisher.
Yeah,
that should be their finishers, but yeah,
like that sit down powerbomb neck breaker combo. It's dope. The finish was. Surprised me. The Authors of Pain were going for their finisher. Angelo Dawkins pushes one of them out of the ring. Montez Ford tightly rolls up. Tightly.
I mean, that matters. You get a high stack or something. It's better than just the schoolboy.
So the Street Profits are in the WrestleMania match.
Okay.
And not the Authors of Pain, which is
all right.
I
guess they're not breaking up the Street Profits.
No. No. I didn't want to interrupt your fantasy booking, but so that's pretty fun.
It wasn't it was a request.
Yeah.
If fantasy booking be like Angelo Dawkins should vie for the Intercontinental title against Gunther at SummerSlam like that.
Oh Jesus.
I just want them separate.
If you have a moment to go and see what Angelo Dawkins was wearing, his gear, he has not figured out what kind of gear to wear to the ring his entire tenure as a wrestler. It's just he's still searching, which is a shame because he's so good.
He's very good.
Like in
very
this match, especially, he turned me completely.
Yeah.
Like my 2 notes went from I hate this to I love this.
Because you get tired of them as a act.
Yeah.
But then when they wrestle, you're like, oh yeah, both for different reasons.
Yes, absolutely.
Are, fantastic.
And there's no more red Solo cup, and he's not doing the stirring thing anymore. I don't know, just it's slight tweaks in presentation can change your whole goddamn career.
Yeah.
So they tee up next week. It's Bianca Belair versus Dakota Kai. It is the Street Profits versus Grayson Waller and Austin Theory. Oh, I probably spoke too soon.
They're stooges. That's their go-to stooges now.
That might be the qualifying match. I really don't know to get into the pay-per-view. It's the new. It has to be because it's new.
If it is, they're going to go with Waller. In theory, they love those guys.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you're right. They've been pushing them hard lately.
Yeah, they're just always on TV.
All right. Well, so much for saying the Street Profits were in the ladder match. It's also New Catch Republic versus Legado del Fantasma.
The New Catch Republic will be awesome on Collision whenever they end up there.
I heard that Pete Dunne is producing.
Yeah, I saw that too. They got him doing what the other little too small for WWE to really push awesome wrestler who broke his neck. What's his name? He's a full-time producer now. And he's their top producer for years and years. What's his name? He's in the Hart family.
Teddy Hart.
No.
Tyson Kidd.
He's like Mary. Yeah, Tyson Kidd.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what they did with Tyson Kidd when he was still actively wrestling. They had him start doing. It's good. Pete Dunne's awesome.
Yeah, he's
let him
very
do that.
good.
He lays out matches incredibly well.
Yes,
which is why I think he's going to end up on Collision.
Yeah,
eventually.
I wouldn't. Yeah, that's fine. Change of scenery is always nice too.
It's like a trade thing.
They need more of that.
They need to stop doing these multi-year. I wish wrestlers got 2-year contracts. I like the jumping ship both ways. It's good. Even when the promotion I prefer loses somebody it's still interesting, and then you make room for other people. Like
they need to lose more people. I was thinking about that the other day.
I think both companies need to just move.
There's been such an influx of AEW guys into WWE. I'm sorry, WWE guys into AEW.
Yeah, I mean, lately it's the big signing, and then also you got Ospreay, you got Okada,
But now you got where's Keith Lee?
I think he's retired. I think he's badly hurt.
But he was a big get. You have all of minus. Bobby Fish was there too. You have the Undisputed Kingdom, right? Yep. They were all top guys in NXT. You just have all WWE guys. If someone from AEW comes to WWE, massive fucking deal. Because there's two. And even Ty Dillinger.
It just doesn't happen as much.
Or Sean Spears or whatever.
It's a big deal. And one of them was Cody, who's just his own planet.
Right. But he was the line crosser. He's the union line breaker or whatever it's called.
He's his own thing. He's his own brand.
But there's been 3, maybe?
Yeah, and Jade was the one that everybody, both fans of both promotions were that she should be in the WWE. But there are several people, I think I'm either company that would benefit. What I think the best thing would be is a third company to become viable. But TNA just won't. They refuse to.
Well, it'd be if only somebody owned a wrestling company that also owns another wrestling company and can use it constructively.
Sell that wrestling company because that's what he should do, and then let somebody else promote it.
Just use Ring of Honor. All the wrestlers have all this.
As long as he owns it, it's still just really one company.
As long as he owns it,
just sell it.
Yeah, give it to the guy that got fired from TNA.
Yes, 100%. There are so many great wrestlers on Earth right now. North American, particularly wrestlers, because New Japan's kind of dog shit right now.
Yeah.
There's just too many.
Yeah.
And I want all of them to get regular work on, be on TV and stuff. There needs to be a third company that's viable. TNA's had the opportunity so many times over the years. They just can't get out of their own way.
Absolutely not. And there's guys that are there, but your big guys are Heath Slater, Matt Cardona.
Yeah. With the homegrown guy that wears he's great, but boring. The guy that wears the ear covering,
Josh Alexander.
Josh Alexander, yeah.
But, I agree. Also next week, Kevin Owens and Randy Orton against Pretty Deadly, and then the Jade Cargill appearance. This episode was capped off with Roman. I was going to say Rock. Roman and Cody, which they talked about on the previous Raw, and they were in the ring together, and they were basically Roman's come to SmackDown, and Cody's all right, I'll come to SmackDown, and Roman's I'm not going to bring anyone. Cody's all right, you don't bring anyone, I'm not going to bring anyone.
Wasn't it? It was Paul Heyman that was extra, of course you're lying because you're Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
And, Roman will be there by himself.
Yeah. You don't bring anyone, I'm not going to bring. All right. Well, if you don't bring anyone, I'm not. All right, if you promise not to. It just felt
neither guy brought anybody, but they were both carrying firearms.
Yeah, there was a standoff in the ring, the old K.
Roman Reigns is dead, by the way. It's the news that we're breaking here on this podcast. Cody shot Roman Reigns through the heart. It's Rock Cody now. It's in the main event.
Oh no. Cody said, we already said, if you come alone, I come alone. Roman says Cody isn't fit to be the face of the company because he's an idiot and he thinks with his heart, not his head. Roman asks why Seth did not come to save Cody on Monday. He was showing his true colors. And he's what did he say? He'll be your shield? He's well, I used to be in the Shield, and we didn't do good guy stuff. Over the time, we developed a bond like brothers, and he stabbed me in the back. What do you think he's going to do to you? Roman's bringing up solid points.
He did. Roman totally did only good guy stuff for 7 years, and everybody hated his guts, so he's lying. But good. I don't trust Seth either.
No. Also, too,
how could you? He's the greasiest looking motherfucker I've ever seen.
Talking about Roman? Or Seth.
Yeah. I agree with Roman. Don't trust Seth.
Also, they're showing, I guess they showed this between commercial breaks of foreshadowing. Nope. This is just straight up telling you what happened. Cody got attacked quite a bit at the end of Monday Night Raw.
Really?
Oh, a little bit. And prior to that...
Blood's so cool in wrestling.
Oh, no, I think it was after this at house shows. They were showing clips of Seth not intervening And
so maybe it is like an actual thing.
Which, like, now I don't know what's going to happen. Is Seth going to be the one that turns? Like, someone's turning.
Seth should turn away from a new contract with WWE and move on to other places.
Becky's is coming up soon. I was reading that today.
But she did say that she's not a great negotiating tactic. She said no offer's been made, but she's also not interested in wrestling for any other company.
Oh, yeah.
So,
maybe acknowledge there are other companies and try to get a couple more bucks.
Get your bag.
Yeah. Cody says this little slip up for Cody here. Cody says he remembers the Shield. They were unstoppable. And he goes, do you remember the first team that beat the Shield? I'll give you a hint. The last name was Rhodes. The last name was Brian, Kane, and Orton. It was June 14th, 2013. What Cody Rhodes is referring to is when Cody and Dustin, or Goldust, defeated Seth and Roman, who were in the Shield for the tag team.
He's just lying. He's just doing a wrestling thing.
Yeah.
When you said slip up, I'm like, really? Cody never fucking slips up.
Little slip up.
He does several paragraph long promos on every show, and the dude never.
Here's your first taste of it.
He's just working. He's lying.
So he, 4 months before he beat the Shield, somebody else beat the Shield. So poor Cody. Let's see. He acknowledges that he has his bullet cufflinks on, so he's not unfamiliar with factions and betrayal. He says Seth may hate him, but he hates Roman even more. Cody asks Roman, can you trust The Rock at WrestleMania? We're all confused. Who's in charge? Is it the tribal chief or the final boss? All right?
I mean, I think the same thing.
All they're doing is like what they've been doing masterfully during this build is just putting on the table. This is what we're all thinking at home.
Yeah.
More than I can remember other feuds ever doing before.
The WWE ever, by far. Under Vince, for all those years, it was, I don't care what you think. I know better than you. Fuck you. I resent you.
Absolutely.
So here's what you're getting. Now they're like, we're thinking it too because we can read the room.
Yeah.
So
but also,
let's talk about it.
That really squashes like fantasy booking and speculation and dirt sheet guys.
It's awesome. It makes it unpredictable now because they're acknowledging all the stuff that we all see.
If we stuck to our guns the first time this came up, where we were initially like, The Rock's totally turning on Roman Reigns. Yeah. And now they've just made it such an absurdity that The Rock would turn on Roman Reigns. Even if he does now, it's just like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, you've done all this work. Like,
exactly.
Like, it's not even fun or clever. So,
but then if he does, it'll be awesome because it's The Rock, and he has proven to me that no matter what he does,
you're bringing such valid points to the conversation. Roman says Cody is a politician. He goes, Roman asks if anyone has a kid that they want Cody to kiss for his entrance.
I mean, Cody might become president of the United States.
He's certainly trying. He's got these wardrobe for it.
Neck tattoo was a mistake.
He says, maybe it's red, white, and blue at least.
Yeah, it's true.
He's got that going.
I forget how politics are these days. It probably helps him. Will help him.
Roman says Cody promises all the time, but he never delivers. Roman calls Cody the greatest number 2 of all time, and Roman says he's number 1 forever. The entire crowd puts their fingers up. It will never get boring.
Yeah, it's great.
It's just cool.
Great. We love chanting.
Yeah,
easy to say things and doing hand signals.
We're easy to please.
Told our parents to suck our dick for like 5 years because of the cool hand gesture.
Cody says Roman probably aspired to be the next Bruno, Rock, Hogan, Austin, Flair, Cena. And he concedes that the next generation will want to be the next Roman Reigns. And he says that Roman Reigns is, that's Roman's destiny, but feels Roman is unfamiliar with Cody's. He says unfamiliar with Cody's. When it comes to WrestleMania and who defeats Roman, he's not number 2. I'm the 1. Good luck at Mania. He extends a handshake. Roman does not shake. Roman leaves the ring. As Roman's standing next to the crowd, like outside the ring, someone shouts, "You need a group full of strangers to acknowledge your bitch ass." It was some lady. It was pretty funny. Roman snaps his fingers as if we need more evidence that he's fucking Thanos.
Yeah.
Jimmy and Solo appear from behind the crowd. And then Cody nods his head to the crowd, and Jay and Seth appear from the crowd because both guys weren't going to bring guys.
Yeah.
And they both brought guys. I might have opened this wrong and said this was going to happen on the
next
show.
I'm glad that Cody didn't do the dumb babyface thing that again, old Vince led WWE. They loved making their baby faces look like complete idiots.
Yeah.
And they would walk into every trap in the world. So I like that Cody is not that.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I like it too.
I don't love that Special Needs Jey Uso is one of his right-hand men.
My God. I like Jey Uso because there's a huge chunk of TV I don't have to watch then.
Yeah, and
he has a place.
WWE is shooting for 4 quadrants, and kids like him.
Yeah,
and he's good with that.
He's over like crazy.
Yeah.
Like I saw video footage of
kids and dummies
when he came out, and he does the crowd goes fucking ballistic for him.
Yeah, his thing,
which is impossible to do.
McAfee sells that incredibly well too. Like that's great. He just can't wrestle or really talk.
No.
So
that was Friday Night SmackDown.
Yeah. I was a big hole in my heart and schedule because there was no Rock Instagram 20-minute promo.
Yeah.
I've become accustomed to that now.
I don't.
And I didn't get it this week.
No.
But I didn't know what was in store for me come Monday.
Did you hear, speaking of The Rock, that there are people murmuring that they don't like that The Rock is not abiding by the PG ruling?
And I think I heard that and I was like, yeah, I could see it. And but then after this, what happened on Raw, I'm like, oh yeah, they were working. Actually, both companies to a degree, but WWE particularly has been working the dirt sheet people like never before. I don't know which person that was a leak for PWI or Meltzer or SRS they got to and they told, start feeding bullshit information because they're doing it constantly now. Yeah. Everything that comes out is they want it to come out because it's going to feed into the story.
Well, look at even Punk's debut.
Yeah.
They denied vehemently that he was going to be there.
In Triple H's entire run, they've been very good at keeping a lid on stuff when they want a lid on it.
Yeah.
But lately, they've been just putting out not just false information, but false information that it getting out there helps the story that they're telling.
Yeah.
Because then they incorporate the bullshit into it's incredible.
Yeah. Also too, he owns the damn company pretty much.
Yeah.
Or he's the chairman of the board.
Exactly. If you do a little bit of critical thinking, it's like, no, that's stupid. He's on the board.
He's the boss. And he's the one that has to answer to the people who are actually going to come down hard with the hammer and he'll handle it.
Yeah.
He'll do
when that hits Reddit and everybody's like, ooh, he backstage heat on The Rock for talk. And then Raw comes along and Cody swearing and CM Punk is holy shit.
Yeah. Punk goes hard.
They did that because they knew that that's what they had on deck for Raw this week.
Also too, shockingly enough, because they're also praising this as the next Attitude Era.
Yeah.
And they're saying, because of The Rock's back. It's yeah. I think solely because of the work he's doing, it feels fresh and real for the first time.
Big coincidence. The most incredible performer ever is here for 2 different eras, and they both rule.
Yeah. We have to start boiling down to common denominators at some point. But, so that was SmackDown. So, best Raw in my conscious memory, and as you said, in at least 25 years.
Since your brother was coming to my house every Monday, and we were going out for ice cream with a crew of 5 or whatever it was.
I believe I was in high school. I believe I would have maybe high school.
01.
Yeah, I was in high school.
So that then. It's when Raw was 2 hours. And great.
And we liked it that way.
It's goddamn amazing. I didn't think Raw could be as entertaining as it was under the 3-hour structure that they currently have. It was better than I thought they could possibly make it.
Yeah, the formating was pretty perfect.
Incredible,
and nothing felt long or dragged.
No,
or
that's what I mean. It's just great.
It was live from Chicago.
Yeah,
/ Rosemont, Illinois.
It does help that. Full disclosure, our hometown.
Yeah.
And also the best wrestling crowds just anywhere.
And Steve Austin's favorite building to work in ever.
Yeah.
It was the, I believe, 11th consecutive live televised WWE event that sold out.
Yeah.
So good for them. And starts off with recapping the Cody Roman segment where they're like, well, I'm not gonna if you're not gonna. and then they all did. So it's just this weird standoff to end SmackDown. Cody comes to the ring.
But again, even that kind of weird feeling, they did that because they were leading into the greatest thing they were going to, the best pay-per-view selling ass thing that I've
Yeah.
seen them do maybe ever.
Yeah.
On this show.
Yeah,
So,
this was tremendous. Cody, it's just everyone sings the words to his song. It's not like they just
no, I know.
like people definitely do the whoa part, but like people are singing the lyrics.
Yeah.
And that's like I don't know.
I do kind of now at
Yeah.
this point. It's like
You're just
the
mouthing
dude's
them along.
incredible. Like
Yeah.
he just
So he gets in the ring. He acknowledges it's the final awkward 2 weeks before Mania, which is what I was talking about earlier.
He doesn't just acknowledge the stuff that like we talk about, that, like the fan base is talking about. He's acknowledging things that like I have been thinking kind of in my subconscious, but I haven't vocalized.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, yeah, you're right, Cody. I have been kind of noticing that.
You know, now that you mention it. He says Roman was talking shit on the Pat McAfee show, and then he's like, "Give it up for Pat," and then the crowd pops, and he goes, "Give it up for Michael Cole," and the crowd gets louder.
He's going to be president.
Yeah. Big Roman sucks chant after that. He iterates that Roman thinks that Cody is a politician, that he's making promises he can't keep. And then he said something, I don't know, this is not a sentence, but this is what he said verbatim. "This city, more than any other city, when I make a bet, when I make a promise, I absolutely 100% keep it." What does that mean?
He's talking about All In. That was
God damn it.
When
Why are you so smart?
The reason that AEW exists
Yeah.
is because Cody, when on the Indies, tweeted, "I think I could book a show, an indie show that would sell 10,000 tickets." And Meltzer responded, "There's no friggin' way indie show will ever sell 10,000 tickets."
Right.
So he booked a show in Chicago called All In that sold 10,000 tickets.
Gosh, you're like Sully GPT. Propping me up when I fall down.
But you only know about one thing.
Oh, that's fine. But for the purposes of this,
yeah, it fits our theme.
yeah. Okay, well, I was gonna riff on that.
He
for a second.
referenced everything. He referenced like AEW,
Yeah,
All
it's a
In
lot.
prior to AEW.
It's a
He
lot.
does it in ways that are like
Very subtle.
subtle, not overt or over the top, but also like people like me. I'm like, he's talking about All In. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Like, he's just incredible.
And he goes off to list all the promises that he made. He mentions a guy who asked him to be his best man a couple nights ago at a house show. Cody said yes, and he's paying for the bachelor party.
Which is shoot, by the way, he's doing that.
Yeah. He's going to Hudson's 5th birthday party. Someone named Hudson invited him to his birthday party. He's getting the wrestling club to go to both nights of WrestleMania, which I don't know what that is, but it's some kind
I
of...
bet you the wrestling club smells interesting.
You mean like club sandwiches? You think they're just really big into...
I think it smells like
pimentos?
like people that you need to kind of force them to take a shower.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's leave that
Unwiped
there.
butts.
Yeah. And then he goes, and for that, I ask for nothing back, which I didn't love that he said that. It's like, be a little, like, you've been anything but.
You're asking for our worship.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, but the humility, you know. He said he dresses, talks, and walks pretending to be the champion because the champion isn't here. Like, he's not being very humble in this promo, but he's getting...
He's right though.
He's not.
He's had to be the face of the company because the guy that's the champ.
I agree.
Signed a contract that they were stupid to sign him to,
Right.
And he's never on TV.
Right. He started kind of crying a little bit of how he was screwed last year at WrestleMania, and then he goes, "It's my fault that you and your cousin can't have the wank fest at WrestleMania that you wanted to have," which I enjoyed that.
I mean, British jerk off slang. Mwah, love it.
Wankfest. He got away with it on the telly. And he says it's because I won the Rumble, and when you do, you point at that sign. If I learned anything from last year, pointing at that sign is that I can't do this alone.
Yeah,
it's a clunky sentence.
I just like that pointing at the sign is dumb and needs to go away.
Yeah.
And I like that Cody's like, I'm going to do it different.
Yeah. When you, if I learn anything from last year, pointing at that sign is that you can't do it on there. I said I don't need something back, but I do, and that's for the WWE fans to ride with him.
The point at the sign.
And then the whole building pointed at the sign, and then
I bet you they felt stupid though when they were just like pointing.
So
okay, we're pointing now.
So
What next?
they were pointing in the opposite direction of the greatest thing that happened all night, which was the unadvertised Rock's music hits. And that place,
his new entrance is fucking tits. It's unbelievable. I love that it starts with the old Rock thing, like the faster paced theme, and then like after the lightning storm hits, it transitions into Hollywood Rock, which is much better for this character.
Yeah.
But we still get the big pop Rock thing.
And
Man,
how they show, but the crowd came fucking unglued.
absolutely, of course. I did.
Oh my God.
Too. I think he's like gonna have a resurrected movie career.
Yeah,
that's how awesome he's been. And I think that's a big reason why he was like, oh, wait a minute, I became famous because I'm fucking awesome at this. Let me go back to the thing I'm incredible at.
Well, maybe now he doesn't have to make the same movie 17 times. Where he's like
exactly
like the most bland ass action.
I mean, he
character.
wouldn't play the bad guy ever, and now he's like, go fuck yourself. I hate your mother, Cody Rhodes. So yeah, I think he's probably gonna change it up.
He's proven that. Yeah, he's definitely versatile, and just how they shot it. Like they shot it up the rampway, and how The Rock walks at his Titantron or his screen just makes him look like a video game character, like in a selection screen.
They have the ceiling to floor Titantron, the current one. That's it's a big upgrade from the last one they had. That with the the lightning or electricity. Actually, is the Undertaker gonna like take control of The Rock because he has the lightning powers? And The Rock's intro is all like electricity.
He can. Like he's
maybe he's puppeteering The Rock.
It's his avatar.
He's electrifying.
The Undertaker's never ever been a part of anything as entertaining as anything The Rock did. He is not touching him in any way.
He's been on shows that The Rock has been on.
Yeah.
So I guess technically a part of.
Yeah.
But he's like the shitty part.
Yeah.
But yeah, that floor to ceiling thing with all the electric effects and everything, it fits
it's amazing.
So wonderfully.
Yeah.
And the way also that The Rock, I don't know how they even light this because there's lights all over the arena. You shouldn't even be able to do this. He's like halfway up the ramp before you see him. He comes out of like shadows.
Yeah.
Just appears into light. I'm like, that's incredible looking. I can't even figure out like how they physically do that.
They shoot it perfectly every time.
It's unbelievable. He materializes like halfway up the ramp.
The if the Undertaker is controlling him, one piece of evidence is the fact that The Rock takes a really long time to get started with this segment.
Yeah,
it took him a long time to get to the ring, and then when he got to the ring, there was a really long stare down, during which time there was a "This is awesome" chant, and then a CM Punk chant.
Yes, the CM Punk thing was insane because it was like. It wasn't just like some fans and then they built to it. They were like, this is awesome. And then everyone at the same time decided, okay, we're all going to chant CM Punk simultaneously right now.
Yeah, it was on a dime. It was absolutely on a dime. And they did that for a while. The Rock leans in to tell Cody something, which was later deciphered to be, tonight, I'm going to make you bleed.
Yeah.
And then he just leaves. And then there's a Rocky sucks chant.
And people are pissed because he didn't talk.
Yeah.
But you didn't talk exactly for this reason.
It's what a heel. It's also what a heel does.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, goddamn, what an opening segment.
Oh, unbelievable. Like The Rock, everything he touches, man. The only problem, like we talked about a little bit before in the other half of this podcast, is just like everybody wants The Rock to face off with Cody in a singles now. That's just what I want.
Yes.
That's because that's the two biggest guys.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, you got Roman like, I'm not going to bring anyone if you don't bring anyone.
Exactly. He needs to do a thing that is like an undeniable. And Roman can do it in the ring too. So, but he's not going to do it in the ring like this week in the lead-in. He's got to do something. He's got to do a swerve thing where like The Rock is outshining the fuck out of you, Roman.
Yeah.
And I'm a Roman guy. I love this whole character. I love him being what was the final boss for the last 2 years.
Yep.
But he's just like
totally neutered,
little baby boy now because the big man is here.
It's just, yeah. And The Rock walks out, flanked by lightning, out of the darkness.
He materializes out of nothingness.
He's like fucking Gozer. He's got his two big bulls with red eyes next to him.
Yeah,
it's literally like Gozer walking out in Ghostbusters. And then you got the guy that's actually in charge that needs all his boys to like protect him.
Yeah.
Like one of these things is not like the other.
And also we are seeing that like you can be in the vicinity of The Rock without all the bells and whistles and still be just as big a star because Cody's doing it. Like right now, as we speak, Cody is doing it.
Yeah.
Roman needs to step to Cody's level.
Yeah.
I think this week before the show.
I think time's up. I
mean, he's still got one. He's got a little bit more TV.
But
before.
they had it when he had Rock acknowledge him.
Yeah.
Like that's when I'm like, wow,
It was great. But again, it was Rock doing something.
Yeah. But then they walked it back again because they constantly have to have Jimmy and Solo around. But no, this was awesome. Awesome way to start the show.
Yeah.
Awesome way to have an unadvertised Rock appearance.
Jesus Christ. When was the last time that happened? 20 years ago?
No,
unadvertised? Yeah.
The last time I could think of is
I'm sorry, he did do some like surprise pop-ins when he wasn't involved a couple of times. He was promoting a movie or whatever.
The only time I could think of is when he hosted WrestleMania 27. And they're like, who's going to be the special host? And everyone's like, it's going to be Justin Bieber. And it was fucking Rock. Yeah. And like everybody, cool. It was very cool. But that was 13 years ago.
Yeah.
So that's
this. This Rock is like, who knows? Maybe he can't wrestle at all. But I have way more faith that once he gets in the ring now, seeing the goddamn effort this man is putting into pro wrestling again, I believe that if it's possible for a guy his age and his size to get into ring shape, he's gonna. When this whole thing started, I was like, there's zero chance Rock is ever going to be able to get in the ring at his size and wrestle a reasonable match. But that was because his investment in wrestling for the prior 15 years had been as little as he could possibly do and still say that I'm part of it or whatever. And also, now he's like more invested than anybody but Cody. So
and he was hurt last time we saw him. Like he was really hurt last time we saw him. And now this time, like he's gotten, I don't know. I'm right with you on everything. I'm very excited. Like as we're talking about this, it's making me so excited to watch WrestleMania.
It's incredible.
Backstage correspondent Jackie Redmond's waiting for The Rock to come back out. And she goes, what'd you say to Cody? And he goes, go ask Cody. And then he walked away. They stay backstage, and they're in the Judgment Day Clubhouse. And huge pop when they showed the Judgment Day Clubhouse. Damian Priest.
I'm ready for Rhea to be on her own, though.
Well, she was kind of being pragmatic here.
Yeah.
Eventually, where first Damian Priest and Finn Balor are telling JD McDonough he needs to go take care of Ricochet. And on his way out, Rhea just goes, just win, please. Go win something. And he's like,
which is good.
Yeah. Which is just what you would do. If you're constantly losing, you're not just like, go get him this time. It's you just fucking
Can you win something?
Please, once in a while.
Are you going to cash in your goddamn briefcase too, Damian?
What are they going to do with that?
They got till what, June, right?
Till the next pay-per-view, right? Or the next Money in the Bank,
do something.
Because Drew's winning the world title.
Better be.
Cody's winning the other title.
And I don't want...
Is he going to cash in on a mid-card?
I think so. Because I hope so, actually, at this point, because I don't want Damian Priest.
And it's not going to be Gunther.
With those guys.
And, so who's got the United States? Logan Paul? I don't know, dude. I don't want him touching any of those belts.
Like, whoever's coming out of WrestleMania with that U.S. title, I don't want him cashing in on Kevin Owens either if he, wins it. I don't care about Randy Orton. I don't think he's going to win it, though.
No. I just don't think him winning anything. There's no titles
do something with him, and then have him cash in. But they don't have a lot of time for that.
No. Also, too, they're really embroiled in this tag shit.
Yeah.
So there's
he's gonna let it lapse.
Yeah, that'd be funny. You got a guy.
I'm scared of The Rock. I don't want to be involved in that, so I'm gonna let this lapse.
Yeah, it makes you look really strong as the leader of the Judgment, or the male leader of the Judgment Day. So they go to the ring. JD McDonough versus Ricochet. They do verify this is the 11th straight television sellout. Since Kevin Dunn has left, they're doing such cool camera shit.
It's night and day. I used to hate WWE's television, camera-wise. Production-wise, they've always been head of the class as far as editing stuff, the way that the arenas are set up and everything. But the camera. The direction to TV direction, I hated it so much. Unwatchable. It would give me literal headaches. Mm-hmm. Now it's every week I'm like, that's a thing I've never seen before, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
Actually, both in different ways, both programs are doing shit I've never seen. AEW again this week we didn't mention it on the other podcast. They did a sideline reporter thing in a different way. They had Renee out on the ramp.
Yeah.
And the entrance theme started playing behind her, in the background, like it would if you were sideline reporters out there talking.
Yeah.
So they're doing that sports thing, and WWE is just constantly doing these cinematic, unbelievable camera things, tricks that I've just never seen before.
And the trick in
awesome.
The trick in this match was the Scorsese Goodfellas shot.
Yeah, they're doing oneers like every week.
It
at
was
this
a
point.
one long camera. Like the camera was just on the ground, cameraman, and then he just goes to a different side of the ring with no cuts, and it looked so cool.
It's extending longer and longer, but they've done this oneer like during an active match for I think 3 or 4 weeks in a row, and this was the most noticeable one.
Yeah.
As like in ring freakazoid wrestling fan, I fucking love it so much.
Yeah.
It's a cool, awesome, like just awesome looking thing to do the Steadicam like oneer. But then also I get to watch a wrestling match in WWE where I can see all the moves happening instead of cutting on every impact
or zooming in and out, or shit like that. Or
it just is great on every level.
Yeah, and it makes it feel important the longer you keep the shot on there.
Yes. Like John Wick has taught us, move the camera back a little bit, let us see everything that's happening.
And don't
that's
fuck
cooler.
Don't fuck with the dog.
Yeah.
Ricochet needs something to do because he's way too good. And this was a really showcase match.
Yeah, it felt like an AEW match, basically.
Terrific.
The only thing that irritated me was Michael Cole not knowing what a Poison Rana is. He kept saying, "What is that?" And then McAfee also was doing that, but he's not been calling wrestling every week for the last 40 years like Michael Cole is. What's that? I've never seen anything like they do Poison Ranas like on weekly wrestling television for the last 10 years or something. Like
it was the biggest spot in the best women's match of all time.
Yeah.
Bayley and Sasha Banks at
What
TakeOver.
do I even call this? I don't like Poison Rana or a reverse Hurricane Rana, which they've called it that a lot too.
Which is, but that works.
Yeah,
like
anything but I don't know what to call this thing. It's never been done in human history.
My fans are coal miners.
I love the Ricochet spot, the shooting star, but standing opponents.
Yeah, that was the finish of the match. Yeah, the way the match ends is Ricochet does a shooting star out from the top rope. JD McDonough's standing.
Yeah,
and like he lands on
like
him.
Ospreay, chest to chest.
Yeah, it was awesome. Very fucking cool. So yeah,
I mean, we know Ricochet can do these things. He's not allowed to for most of the last decade or whatever. Yeah. But like, he's got it in him.
Let the boy go, man. Right. Like, so did you hear the new title they're introducing?
The speed title or something? Is that what that is? Like a cruiserweight thing, or for probably matches like this, essentially?
3 minute matches.
X Division, basically.
3 minute matches.
That's great. I love the X Division title.
So I could not bet any more money on Ricochet being the inaugural.
This was the showcase then.
I think they're doing it at the WrestleMania weekend. They have to be, because Ricochet's not on the card.
They wouldn't have introduced the title on social media right now if they weren't going to do it.
Yeah, they'll do it like maybe the pre-show, maybe like at that WWE World. There's a huge fan expo.
There's a lot of room. It's 2 nights. You got a lot of room.
They're doing like 7-8 matches per night.
Right?
Yeah, it's 3 minute match. Absolutely right. So yeah, hopefully a lot of cool spots in this match, which we won't go into too much detail. If you want to watch it, just go watch it.
It's an AEW match, essentially. You know what we're talking about.
They go backstage quickly, and they show CM Punk holding the Chicago Cubs championship belt, and he will be out in the ring next.
Yeah, it's a bummer he turned heel, became with the Cubs fan stuff.
Yeah, sorry, pal. Sorry. I do like that Fanatics is just slapping people in the face with like, hey, we have championship belts, and they have got 2 on this show.
The low price of $750. At least the White Sox one that I checked out.
Yeah, it's obnoxious.
Yeah.
Also, why would you buy it?
Who? I want the belt. Obviously, it's like a White Sox World Championship wrestling belt.
Right.
But who has that? Who has $750 that they need that little that they can buy something as ridiculous?
The same people
as
that
a
are
baseball wrestling championship belt,
for a team
for
$750
for
a team that likely is not winning this year or has won or will be winning.
It doesn't matter if it's for the 27 Yankees. It's a wrestling belt for a baseball team that, of course, I want. And if it was $100, I very well may have purchased it.
Right,
$700, okay. Tony Khan is your only goddamn guy that might buy that anyway.
Somebody's pay. So the fact that they have a team that did market research that will find out how much they could sell these for viably and make a profit on, and they landed at $700. Dude, there's guys that are buying retail cans of Woo Energy drink. There's enough people there that'll spend $700. It's the same guy,
dude. It's the Jared.
His
Cruz
name
guys.
is Clint.
It's like 38 of them.
Yeah. So coming back from break, they hyped the Bray Wyatt doc again, Becoming Immortal. It's going to debut April 1st, so probably on Monday after Raw.
Yeah.
This is where I wrote the note that the Taker Undertaker said Bray was the most logical person to eat.
Bray's family probably like, yeah, thanks for saying that now, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Could have spoke up when you were actually in the company.
Also, too, he fought Undertaker after. I'm sorry, Bray fought Undertaker after Brock Lesnar already beat him. So
there either.
This is like pouring water on your head when you're in the pool. Like, we get it. They show Jey Uso walking in backstage. I just don't care.
He's like Paw Patrol or something. It's just he's there for kids. That's the way I look at him. I don't hate him just because it's like whatever. It's not for me.
The only thing he did correctly here was bring me down so much, which let me get an extra oomph for the next segment because next was Phil. It was CM Punk comes out to a lava hot promo. Lava hot pop.
Punky has been on TV a long time.
My God. They had to
this
rearrange
whole thing,
the
man.
entire stadium to get more people in
Yeah.
because there was such high demand for him.
This whole segment had me like energized, excited. It was amazing, riveted. Also kind of nervous because he's starting to have that I've been at home too long energy, and he said like 3 things that were definitely not approved, and also like could have gotten him fired potentially right as he walked off stage. But that's why CM Punk is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
So just hopefully he can get healthy and get back before that he's dicking around. Like in the course of the promo, he talks about I'm not like you. I'm not online. Yes, you fucking absolutely are. And that's the problem is you're home right now thinking about all this stuff like constantly, which leads to things like this, which are absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
But I also just I've seen this before.
Yeah.
And this energy that he has, which again leads to some of the best television I've ever seen. But historically, at least in the recent past, the thing that comes right after it is not great.
You got it.
I want to get him in the ring.
Just
get back in the ring.
Just keep an eye on his hair.
Yeah.
His hair is his tell. If he shaves his head, we got a
100%.
big problem. Also, too, I was reading that there are just rave reviews of this guy since he's been back to the company.
Yeah, I mean, like if social media is to be believed, like, everybody there absolutely loves him.
Yeah.
And like this again, this was incredible.
Yeah.
But he did the Punk thing where like it was incredible, almost too incredible, to the point where the people he was out there with were even like, holy fucking shit, man. Like, I don't know how to respond to that.
Yeah. So this was where, well, I'll get to it when I get to it. But, excuse me. Punk gets in the ring, says, is it good to be alive in Chicago on a Monday night or what?
I'm never not like I can't ever not be a fan of a man that just loves Chicago as much as I do.
Like he loves it probably more than anyone.
I love Chicago more than America for sure. I've been saying that for 20 years. It's like easy. I'm way more proud of being a Chicagoan than I am of being an American.
Sure.
And I think CM Punk feels the same way.
Yeah.
I
am a real Chicagoan.
Puts our city flag on goddamn everything he owns.
Yeah.
And so do I.
And monetize. And it becomes the #1 selling thing every time he touches something. He said he's not medically cleared, but his mouth works, leading to
it sure does.
Him saying, we're not on Netflix yet, so I apologize. April knows what I'm talking about.
I don't care. It's awesome.
Yeah.
CM Punk is saying it. But before you get into the meat of it, I do want to say that like post this segment, the news came out that they were like, oh yeah, they were the people that were involved here in this the promo we're about to talk about, they were given a little bit more latitude in a otherwise pretty scripted. No, it's not fucking at all. It's not scripted in the slightest.
If they read a scripted promo, they're master actors.
Yeah, no,
just how they were ad-libbing and going back and forth.
A script, they might have been like I would believe to the point of the way it ended. You guys need to get there somehow.
Yeah,
but you got 20 minutes. Just go talk. That's what this was.
Just cook, baby. They cooked. So April or CM Punk mentions his wife April, AJ Lee, and apparently he just likes to give her smooches. Right? That's what he's saying. Because his mouth works.
He was making a cunnilingus reference.
He was giving his wife sweet, sweet smooches. He asks what he should be doing at WrestleMania. How about host? He said 10 years ago that would have felt beneath him, but he wants to be in front of all you people.
It's still beneath him.
And then he goes, I wish WrestleMania was in Chicago. Hint, hint.
Are they doing?
It's an outdoor stadium. No, but like,
you know how awesome it would be if they did do the
if
return to an arena. for WrestleMania.
If they built,
Like,
if they build that new proposed stadium,
yeah, that's true,
and it's
gonna be
domed
in 10 years or something. Though it's
Yeah.
going to take forever to do that. I've been dying to see a modern WrestleMania in a
Smaller,
arena
yeah.
setting. I mean,
they're not gonna. No,
you're
that's
losing a bunch of money.
a bunch of money.
But you could find other ways to probably
Unless-
make it up if you do United Center for 2 nights and add a bunch of whatever.
Yeah.
They know how to make money.
They could shut down the
WWE.
city and
It-
have like
It
pop
could
up
be
stuff everywhere.
incredible. Like,
Yeah,
but yeah,
yeah. Maybe I would love that, but
or Wrigley. It's Wrigley.
yeah,
You're relying on April
they would
Chicago weather, but
it would destroy the stadium.
it's a dump anyway.
Yeah, yeah.
But
It
it's a great
sure
place for
is.
shit like that.
Yeah.
I saw Billy Joel there. It ruled.
That was funny. He says, referee? And he said, is there a title match that needs the most impartial referee ever?
And the ref rumor had been out there
Yeah.
recently.
He says, a lot of people talk about me. Even if they hate me, they need me. And then he rolls down a list. He goes, Pat McAfee. Says, Roman was on your show talking about me. And he's like, as I climb back up the mountain and as Roman climbs down, they're going to see one another soon.
Which felt like extra biting because it really feels like Roman is coming down the mountain right now.
It was very authentic. And like he's older. Like
Yeah.
just like all the variables.
I also like that he
Didn't work in
McAfee.
Roman's
He's
favor.
like, I don't listen every week, but I like your B show or whatever. Like,
And then he tags everything. It was like, well, maybe Roman has earned the right. And then he goes to Seth Rollins. He goes, we go way back. We don't see eye to eye, mostly because he wears high heels now.
man, and like this is something I hadn't even noticed.
Yeah.
But now that Punk pointed it out, I'm like, you're absolutely right. He's wearing lifts.
Yeah.
Because I mentioned this on the podcast before. I'm like, was Seth always 6'3"?
Yeah.
Like, because Moxley's 6'3", and I always remembered him being way taller than Seth, but nobody had ever really pointed it out or mentioned it. I've never seen it online or anything. People talk about it with Jericho all the time.
Yeah.
This is the first time I've ever heard it, and he's fucking not lying. He's
Right.
100% right, and now, like, Seth is...
He's worse than he was
toast.
prior to this sentence.
Everything already about him was not
He
great.
cooked his ass.
But Jesus, that one thing, that one
Yeah.
piece of information is like, he had, and that's what I mean about there's no script.
Yeah.
This was the first, this is not the big one, but this was the first one that I was like, oh, he didn't get anybody's fucking
No.
approval for that. There's no way on earth that Seth Rollins wants this thing that nobody's ever talked about
Right.
being exposed, particularly because it's very obviously provably true.
Especially right
Like,
before
it's-
he's main eventing one of the nights
yes.
of WrestleMania. And then Punk's laughing that he hurt his arm. He said, maybe Seth has earned the right to say what he's saying. But coming from someone with 2 bad knees, that's kind of funny.
Yes.
That was funny. He said, The Rock, he hasn't said a word about Punk. And he's like, Punk likes to think, and he called back like one of his
The
greatest
box,
lines
yeah,
ever.
it's great.
Punk
It's
likes
an
to think
all-timer.
it's because 10 years ago he remembers coming face to face with the Second City Saint and realizing that his arms were just too short to box with God.
Did you ever hear Rob Van Dam talk about why he didn't like CM Punk because Rob Van Dam is a very honest, very open, very likable dude.
Yeah.
He does a couple Punk stories. They're not like incendiary. He doesn't really talk shit about him. He's just like, I could never click with him because he had like the unearned, like right when he came into the company, he had the unearned confidence of a cult leader. And I'm like, you're absolutely right. That is him. 100%.
That all tracks. That all tracks. And then he did run a cult for a while, so there's that. And then he goes, Drew McIntyre. Punk hasn't said a word about Drew McIntyre because he doesn't perpetually, terminally live on the
The
internet.
first
Which
totally bullshit thing.
I
he
follow
says.
him on Instagram. He
Entire-
posts more than
He's got like his own way of posting on Instagram
Yeah.
that nobody like. I can tell it's a CM Punk post because he does it so much and in such a unique way
Yeah.
that you can tell just from like the structure of the picture that he posts. Like, oh, that's a Punk post.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're all over the fucking internet, dude.
he's there forever.
Especially when he's hurt. And
It's a
he's
lot of
sitting
his
at home
a
and
lot of his dog,
pissed
which
off.
I
Yeah.
don't hate. He said Punk handles his business live and in living color. When you have a problem in Chicago, you handle it face to face like a man. He didn't get the word "man" out of his mouth in Drew McIntyre's music hit.
Yeah.
I'm like, that is tight. During Drew McIntyre's music, Punk goes, "Turn off your stupid song. Turn the stupid song off. Nobody wants to listen
I
to
kind
that."
of like Drew's music. It's not a great song, but it's one of the few in the company that like is recognizable as
Yeah.
somebody specific. So I was like, I don't really agree with you on that one,
Yeah.
Phil, but
Sorry, Phil. I'm gonna step to the other side of the rope for this
It's just
decision.
a taste thing.
Yeah. He says, I ain't medically cleared, but I'm not looking to have a wrestling match. Why don't you get your bitch ass in here?
He really pushes. I mean, this has been his whole career, but he pushes hard against the invisible wall bullshit.
Yeah.
He's like, no, stop it. Stop talking from there. We can see each other. Just come here. And nobody ever knows what to do with that. Like,
And even in, like, from a crowd perspective, and when he's saying that, it's like, and he kind of goes back to this quite a bit in the next couple lines, but he's wanting to get in. He's wanting Drew to get in the ring, and you're like, oh yeah, like why isn't Drew getting in the ring?
Wall thing. He's just like, no, that's bullshit. Do it. And I love Drew. He's been doing incredibly well. But that's a thing with when you're working with Punk, you need to be willing to just like, all right, so fuck it, and then go in the ring. You don't know what's going to happen then, which is what makes it scary, which is why Punk does it.
Yeah.
But he will also like have something. He'll respond in some way that is interesting if you do it, but you need to like do it.
Right.
And almost nobody ever does.
But what Drew did was equally good.
Drew was awesome
Yeah.
here, but that thing specifically, that's a Punk thing that he's been doing. He's done forever. And like Eddie Kingston was one of the only guys that was like, all right, fuck it, dude. I'm going to come nose to nose with you. And it was made for incredible TV.
Yeah, absolutely. So then Drew says, I would love to go to the ring and beat your arse. But you don't remember what happened. But don't you remember what happened the last time we were in the ring together? And then Punk's reply was, are you a Scottish psychopath in a kilt or an internet troll in a skirt? Let's find out. And he holds open the ropes. And Drew goes, this is 2024. You want to get canceled for talk like that?
That's the one thing Punk probably needs to work on.
Yeah.
He's like my age.
Times change, pal.
Times change. You got to change with them. You're going to be on TV.
Drew shows off his new Savior of WrestleMania shirt, and there's a checklist. The front of it says Savior of WrestleMania. On the back, there's a checklist, and it's got 4 check boxes in order. It's injure CM Punk, win the Chamber, win the World Championship at WrestleMania, become immortal. So he's showing off his shirt, and Punk goes, Drew McIntyre, I ain't never had to put another man's name on a T-shirt to sell it.
Great line. Also not true. He put Big Show's name on a shirt one time, like 15 years ago. But it doesn't have to be true. It's wrestling. It's Punk.
Scoreboard. I like a good scoreboarding. Drew goes, the most ironic thing about you, Punk, is the straight edge thing. You never drink, you never do drugs, yet you spend all your time in rehab.
That's a great line.
That was a stand-up comedy roast battle line.
Great line.
It was a great line. Drew doesn't hate Punk. He says...
By the way, they're like talking over each other nonstop.
Yeah.
It's like an AEW
It's also
promo,
like a real conversation.
which is why I like AEW promos, because it feels real. They're
If
just
they
talking
were
over each other.
But if they were as crisp as this and poignant, like I would like AEW promos a lot more. Everything they said...
every promo can't have CM Punk in it.
No, but everything they said was an organic reply. It wasn't just like, you bitch, like, which AEW is really good at.
All of those are this level of quality.
I know what you're saying.
It's the style of
Absolutely.
promo.
It's how people argue.
It's not a WWE and then you go and then I go because nobody talks like that.
Arguing like our adults would argue.
Yeah.
Drew says, I said that. And then he goes, Drew doesn't hate Punk. He says, you actually complete me. And Punk goes, boo this man. You tell him who you paid to see. And Drew thinks, and Drew goes, no, you complete me. He's like, I think of you when I'm trying to finish sets while working out. I thought of you to help me win the Elimination Chamber. He's like, you're my muse, man.
You're my muse.
And then Punk, as he's saying it, Punk goes, I can't hear a word that you're saying. Why don't you come in the ring and speak into my good ear? Come on, you coward.
He needed Eddie Kingston up right there. But
kept coming. Drew says, I'd love to get in that ring, but I know what you people in Chicago are like. You probably have a weapon in there, and you'll try and take me out before WrestleMania.
It was good thinking on your feet.
Cheapy from the hometown people. Punk lies down in the ring really briefly.
At one point, they're like both laying down or something. I don't know. It was amazing.
Yeah, Drew gets on the announce table and he crosses his legs.
That's
and he
right.
goes, don't shoot up my kilt, you perv. Drew says he wants Punk there at WrestleMania because Punk believes he should be... Drew says he wants Punk there at WrestleMania because Punk believes he should be in his position, but you shouldn't because Drew's always been the chosen one.
Oh, my God.
And then Punk goes, chosen one? Who chose you? Who? What was his name?
Have the balls.
Once he says, huh, they show Drew and he's kind of smirking. He goes,
oh, Drew totally broke here. He's like,
you got
you're insane.
You got the balls to say you're the chosen one? What paragon of good virtue chose you? It wasn't the people in Chicago. It wasn't the people in San Antonio.
Say his name. All that. This was the point where I was like, shit, I'm not going to have any more CM Punk after this show. He's going to get fired.
What paragon of virtue chose you?
Shit balls.
I
haven't
couldn't
fucking mentioned the guy at all.
Yeah.
And now he's calling out, say his name and tell me why, or tell me why you would be embarrassed to mention it.
Yeah.
Like,
I also think this is the end of Drew McIntyre ever calling himself the chosen one. Now it's people are like, why did he say that? And if you live like under a rock,
I'm sure the board is like, okay, you can't fucking use that anymore.
Yeah,
no, that's poisoned.
But if also too the chair is like saying this, if the chairman of the board's like telling the biggest babyface in the company, like, go fuck yourself.
But there's a big difference between kayfabe, I'm gonna start working PG-13,
I agree.
and like bringing a ton of attention to the guy that founded our company as a giant rapist.
Yes. All I'm saying is envelopes are being pushed in many directions.
Yeah, absolutely.
So like,
but this set a new standard for envelope pushing in modern WWE.
Yes, 100%.
It was awesome.
And like 2 weeks,
I loved it. I'm also scared to death that he's gonna get fired.
And then so we'll see. Can you imagine if you wake up tomorrow and it's like CM Punk for
I really hope. Like,
I already got. This guy can't keep doing this to me. But he will be fine because this was a great line. And also too, I watched it on Hulu. I didn't watch it live, so they could have edited it out if it was like terribly problematic.
In this day and age, if they do that, it draws more attention to the thing.
Sure.
So you can't edit it out. Then you're just a rock and a hard place. It's incredible.
That's true.
But it's the most like caustic thing he could have possibly said.
Yeah.
He could be like, your mother's a fucking whore. I hope she burns in hell. It would not have been as big a deal to the people that run WWE as say his name on air right now. Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
This
who
guy
chose you? Who?
All know exactly who I'm talking about.
Absolutely. Drew goes, you're only good at talking, running that mouth ear, so why don't you maybe be the guest commentator for the world title match and watch Drew have his moment. Watch me have my moment. And once he says that, Seth Rollins comes out. People sing a song. When Seth's music hits, Punk eye rolls with his whole body.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah, he was like, oh. Seth gets in the ring. He's faced. Drew McIntyre is like sitting at the commentary desk now. He's sitting between Pat McAfee and Michael Cole.
Drew, by the way, we kind of said this already, but he's enjoying this shit like as much as we are at home. He's just got this look on his face like, holy shit,
this is amazing.
This is great.
Well, he finally found a guy
so much money doing this.
He found a guy that could talk people into the building with him because he's been feuding with.
He's been the guy doing that
fucking
basically.
Dingus that can't and like Dingus. And by the way, when I mentioned earlier, this is a show that really separated like the tippy top from like, and this Seth Rollins looks worse.
You can't hang.
He looks significantly worse week over week, and this put him
like Drew can 50%. Barely hang. Drew's incredible at this.
I thought Drew did an exceptional job. Yeah,
he did absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm saying that is the level that Punk is at. That even a dude who I think is amazing at this and was on top of his game was just like barely hanging.
Punk. And that's a great point.
Seth had zero chance.
Not zero chance. But he says Seth is standing face to face with Punk, noticeably taller than usual.
And everybody's going to notice that forever.
Seth says,
is he going to show up 6 feet tall instead of 6'3" next week?
Then
that's more noticeable too.
If he puts on like noticeably larger platform, she was like, that's the only way out of that, right?
Yeah,
you
got to do it.
You got to lean.
The Bucks.
Yeah,
lean in.
Seth says it's his show, and Punk goes, but it's his city, right? The crowd really wants Punk to be the ref in this match. They keep chanting referee, referee. Seth says his bad arm is his counting arm. Punk immediately drops and counts to 3. And then Drew like celebrates when he got like on commentary because now he's got like a headset on.
Well, because he's just enjoying this shit as much as I am. Like everything Punk, like I don't think he was planned for him to do that.
No,
because Seth didn't have an answer to that. He's like, well, yeah, I can. Look, boom, boom, boom. Just did it. And Yeah, Drew's just like, holy shit, this guy's amazing.
Punk says he couldn't be objectively fair with these two. He couldn't be objectively fair with these two dipshits. And then Drew and the mic goes, PG brother. PG brother. Yeah.
I want them to have a sitcom or something. Those two.
They could have a buddy cop show.
Yeah.
Police, cops, police, cops. Seth says, "You want to know what I think, Punk?" And Punk goes, "Nope."
He had no idea how to handle this.
No. Seth says he doesn't think about Punk, so he's fine with whatever Punk does at WrestleMania. He says Punk needs Seth to have a moment at WrestleMania. He did say the irony's not lost on him that Punk will be calling Seth's biggest victory at WrestleMania, which the only good thing he said, it was on point. I didn't write down most of what Seth said because I was exhausted from having a great time. By the time
my stomach was hurting too much from
laughing.
I was
just wrap this up. If Punk talks again, I'll type it out. But Punk says he's going to do commentary at WrestleMania and make Drew and Seth interesting. Punk leaves the ring. His music hits, Cult of Personality hits. The music stops, and Drew says Punk is obsessed with him. He says Punk is his stan. And he goes, write me back just to chill. Truly yours, your biggest fan. This is Phil.
It's great bars. I'm like, God damn, Drew, you're great.
And then Seth super kicks Drew and then stomps him.
Yeah.
What an insanely entertaining segment this was.
Yeah.
This is an all-timer.
Even without the thing that closes Raw, which is probably my favorite thing that they've done since, like I said, 2001 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If this was the only major thing that happened, it would still be the best Raw in 20 years. It's absolutely incredible.
Not all of them. Seth looked like a dingus, but
Seth can't.
Drew and
he doesn't have it.
Drew and Punk fucking cooked.
Drew, I'm super impressed with. Punk put Drew in a very difficult situation, and Drew came out smelling like roses. He was able to stick with him, throwing stuff in,
right,
and didn't get visibly rattled like pretty much everybody does when Punk is on one of these.
Yeah, which we
to
saw
the point
where
he was so comfortable, he was fucking laughing, legitimately laughing at all this stuff.
Yeah,
and he was in some tough spots there.
Absolutely,
really stepped up. I already knew Punk had this in him because we've seen him do this before.
Yeah.
We haven't seen him do this on this run in WWE, nothing close to this.
No.
But we've seen him do it before.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of people shrink under that when Punk does this.
Oh,
thing.
100%.
He just goes off the fucking rails and goes into business
Remember
for
when,
himself.
Kevin Nash couldn't hang with him over 10 years ago.
Almost nobody.
Kevin Nash was like a known talker.
Yeah. Well, that was his thing. It was his whole deal. Drew really, really impressed me.
Yeah.
Here.
I can't wait for him to get healthy and come back, and
I need him healthy just because again, this shit's awesome, but I've seen him with this energy before.
It's not,
and it's when he's home hurt,
not.
And it's making him crazy, and then he does crazy shit.
But he also has a worldwide, global empire that is probably on his. They probably have a handler for him. Hey, just keep an eye. Or
I don't think he's handleable.
I 100% think he is, especially since he's getting rave reviews backstage. I think he knows this is his last opportunity.
I hope all these things.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I hope all of this.
I feel like I said a lot of this when he was in AEW as well.
History tells me he does whatever the fuck he decides he's going to do.
Yeah. Oh, please, sir. Please just be here forever.
Hopefully, but hopefully this is just the peak of that energy, which led to the best promo segment I've seen, I don't know, 25 years in this company.
It was sick. It was sick how entertaining this was. Speaking of sick, it goes backstage to a Nakamura video package teeing up his match with main event Jey Uso tonight, and which I needed this at this point because I needed to collapse in my couch.
This match, that match that I didn't give any shits about, actually served a great purpose too.
Yeah.
Is a backdrop to the more important thing that everybody did care about.
Absolutely. And I'm gonna love Nakamura forever. So I hate that I cast his shit aside because it's usually with Jey Uso a lot.
He does, but I love Nakamura too, but he doesn't care anymore.
No,
he stopped caring a long time ago.
Yeah,
he's just there for a paycheck, which is fine. Go get your money, man. You did strong style for 20 years or whatever. I don't ever expect to have like NXT Sami Zayn Nakamura ever again.
No.
But that's fine. Get paid.
Yeah.
Like, do your thing. They need to fill a lot of time.
I love seeing him on TV, and if they put him with anybody but main event Jey Uso,
yeah,
I would watch the shit out of it. Put him with Andrade and let me like just have a really nice time.
Yeah.
Next was Ivy Nile versus Candice LeRae. So they're doing something actually fucking fun with Candice LeRae.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago, she got in Maxine Dupri's face and basically acknowledged like the internet is laughing at her for being a bad wrestler.
Yeah.
And they turned Candice LeRae real hard, which is great. But for this match, Maxine is in Ivy Nile's corner. Indy Hartwell is in Candice's corner, and Ivy Nile's acting like a proxy, like the big pit bull to fight. That's what they call her too, right? The pit bull. I knocked my laptop over. To fight on her behalf against Candice. And Maxine gets on the apron. Candice knocks her off. Candice then like plays hurt, like because the referee's back was to all of this, and she like cowers in the corner and implies that Maxine like attacked her.
It's amazing you were able to pay this close attention. I was like lightheaded. The previous segment.
Oh, I paused it, made a pizza from scratch. So hours later, I came back. Candice does a possum pin. She rolls up Ivy and gets the win. But I do like that they're doing the thing with Candice LeRae where they're acknowledging what the crowd is doing, and all the dirt sheet writers are like, "Oh, people are mad at Maxine."
I like that they're using it a bad thing to help Candice. She's great and was doing nothing otherwise. I do have a criticism there. I think it's always a bad idea to focus in on and point out a thing that is the fault of the booking.
Yeah,
like it's booking's fault. Maxine Dupri should not have been wrestling on TV.
Right.
It was like irresponsible of them to do that.
Yeah.
And like fine if you're gonna do it, at least you're doing something with it. But I would say you're better off just not acknowledging that at all. Just do the right thing now instead of having her on TV.
Well, the upside here is she's going to get a big victory over Candice LeRae at some point. So like it will pay off at some point.
I think she shouldn't be on.
No, you're right.
TV for the next 2 years.
You're
or something.
right.
She needs to be,
or if she wants to be
learning how to wrestle.
Yeah,
because she's going to get hurt.
Or if she wants to be in this Alpha Academy, and that was like the point of it. Like, I'm with Alpha Academy, I can learn how to wrestle, and like
you can keep her on TV doing that part, and then have her do developmental in-ring stuff.
Yeah.
On house shows,
right,
where it's okay to move a little slower and
show her be green, show her developing. Yeah, I agree. In the interim, though, since they started doing it,
it's good that they're using it to help Candice.
Right.
I agree. Yeah.
So next, there was a backstage segment. It was the New Day versus DIY is coming up.
Regeneration X.
I'm sorry, and then Miz and Truth walk back. Truth thinks that it's the New Day versus DX with JBL on commentary.
It's super dumb. It's like the dumbest thing that just makes me laugh.
Truth is so funny.
He's great. It's super stupid.
He also
makes me laugh every time he does it.
And he also has the White Sox World Championship belt.
Yes, he does.
So both respective Chicago baseball teams represented in world title form, and neither of them are going to be world title contenders, which was just fun for us local people. We got to hear about Jey Uso's favorite WrestleMania moment in a pre-taped segment, which was when his whole family was on WrestleMania 9. His favorite WrestleMania moment was WrestleMania 9.
That's the show that we reviewed, right, Dave?
Yeah, it is unanimously voted as the worst WrestleMania.
That dog shit cocaine fest?
Yes.
Wow. That explains a lot about Jey Uso.
Yeah, if I couldn't dislike this guy anymore, woof. I couldn't believe it. I felt like the universe was like rewarding me.
What?
Yeah. I was like, it's like, am I being punked here? It's the guy I hate the least or the most on the roster.
I mean, I like it now because it gave us so much fuel for a pretty good podcast.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and we realized that the Steiner Brothers versus the Head Shrinkers is actually
like
a dope
all-time
top
WWE tag match.
Yeah. So that was that. Then it was the New Day versus Regeneration X, DIY. Truth is on commentary. And he's like, I watched as much of this match as I could just to hear what he would have to say. Who did he think was JBL? Pat McAfee?
McAfee, yeah.
Because at one point he goes,
"Would you change your name?"
He goes, "Hey, where's your hat?"
Yeah, where's your hat?
And then he goes, someone does a move to someone in the ring, and Truth goes, "He's going to need a backiotomy." He's quoting what movie that was that? it's a Chappelle movie, Half Baked.
Yeah.
Judgment Day.
I love that his gimmick right now is I have CTE.
It just doesn't. It's so goddamn funny. Judgment Day comes down to the ring, all the guys, and just like destroy it. They just lay waste. And Truth is going, we're on commentary. We're not fighting tonight. So like he refuses to get off of commentary to help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can he beat Damian Priest for the suitcase, for the briefcase?
Oh, that'd be funny.
Just take it off of him.
I don't hate that.
Yeah. I mean, they're doing the Miz thing with him.
Yeah, they're winning the tag titles.
I would rather he just be on his own and beat Damian Priest.
Well, after they lose the tag titles, he might get really flustered and like he'll walk into that. Yeah, that'd be fun. But then Judgment Day lays out Truth. So like Judgment Day just lays waste to everything as the Judgment Day.
I hope Truth wins. Like you said, the tag titles or whatever
he has
it is.
to.
He's got to win.
He has to.
This. Like
it's yeah. Oh, people are going to be pissed if he's not the guy that.
As
like,
well they should be.
Even like I don't want the Miz winning on his behalf. I want
No,
Truth
he needs
fucking
to like
winning.
win in the middle of the ring.
Backstage, we have Jackie Redmond interviewing Cody. Same interviewer that interviewed The Rock. She asks, "Hey, what did The Rock say to you?" And Cody goes, "He'd rather not repeat, but it's a promise that The Rock cannot keep."
Yeah, which again, subversion of usually especially like super baby face like Cody. You don't say something that's not really true,
Right?
And like it really wasn't true.
Yeah, no. Backstage, we have Kathy Kelly interviewing Gunther. She's asking for a response for Sami Zayn saying he's gonna take down Gunther at WrestleMania, and Gunther said he would have answered him directly when he asked the question, but Sami stormed out like a child, so he didn't have a chance to. He says there's thousands of, and then he says schlubby nerds out there who don't.
It was very German.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Schlubby nerds.
I had to watch it back. He's like, there's thousands of schlubby nerds out there who don't believe that he can beat me. Gunther says Zayn can't beat Bronson Reed tonight, let alone him.
He beat Bronson Reed 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
but he was my only gripe.
Yeah. Well, the rematch was tonight.
Yeah.
So that was all that mattered. But like Gunther's just coming off of like uber confident here. That was pretty much that. Andrade versus Giovanni Vinci. Vinci.
I think this was Andrade's best in ring since coming back to the WWE.
Yeah, he looked great.
I don't like that they gave him the jobber entrance again. That's not great. Doesn't make him feel very big.
Let's just credit it to the Punk segment maybe going slightly long, and we had to shave time somewhere.
It's becoming a thing with him.
Yeah.
They're like doing commercial breaks after his intro, or he doesn't really get one, or whatever.
But he did.
But the match was good.
They made up for it too, or they gave him a new finisher, which is like it's the Death Rider that John Moxley does, but he twists it at the very end, so it's kind of like the Goldust finish.
Yes,
but he's got his arms hooked underneath, and he calls it the Message.
He did that elbow that I love too.
Clean.
Yeah.
Or he did the top rope moonsaults, the cleanest I've ever
Yeah.
seen. That double moonsault thing.
But yeah, miles better than any of the stuff since he's come back to WWE.
Yeah.
I think everybody just kind of stepped up their game here this whole show.
It was incredible.
Because everybody who had an opportunity to do well did as well as they could.
Every segment was, you weren't just like, ugh. I mean, I was like that with every Jey Uso segment, but aside from that.
That's how I've been with every Raw since we started the show.
Yeah.
And this one I was riveted from beginning to end.
Jey Uso's like a flavor of cake I'm just never going to want to entertain.
He's a children's entertainer. That's what he is.
Next in ring, we had Rhea and Dom. And Rhea brought up a good point. She said Becky is not giving her her full attention. She's wrestling matches every week instead, and Becky comes out right away.
Yeah.
Rhea says she's has to
also touring for her book.
Yeah, which I'm going to read.
Nonstop. Yeah,
I'm going to give it a read. Rhea says that she has to wait till Becky wrestles in order for her to be confronted because Rhea doesn't wrestle on Raw anymore. So that's the only time that she could be confronted is when, she's wrestling not on Raw. Rhea asks why. Rhea asks why. Oh, she asks Becky, why are you competing before the biggest match of your career? And that Rhea says Becky doesn't have to get in the ring to get her attention. She could just post a photo or a video and watch all these people freak out. I might have said that clunkily. Rhea's referring to she doesn't have to She doesn't have to get in the ring to wrestle to get everybody's attention.
She had just posted like a couple of things, sexual kind of.
Well, she did.
She
Yeah,
always
she
does.
She
that,
did
like,
a stink
went
face.
crazy. People went nuts. Like,
yeah, I know a guy that lost his fucking mind personally. So that's why she doesn't have to. Becky says that that's the problem. They have different interpretations of what a champion is. To Rhea, it's posting your ass on the internet for attention, and for her, Becky, it's busting her ass in the ring night in, night out to prove yourself. There's always going to be someone newer, younger, hotter, and she's got to focus on survival. This got zero fucking reaction, by the way.
I actually thought it was delivered pretty decently.
Yeah.
Like, especially compared to, we had kind of been talking weeks prior to this, like, oh man, Becky's really not hitting on all cylinders in the leads at WrestleMania.
Right.
But this, I thought she did a good job.
Yeah.
I think maybe a combination of like some of the lost heat over those weeks, and then you're coming off of the Punk thing. It's tough to do any kind of promo work that is going to get a big reaction. But yeah, it did suffer.
Maybe she was motivated too by Punk dusting her husband. Like, hey, maybe I gotta tighten up the screws a little bit. Rhea says Becky is a cockroach. She's really hard to kill, but not impossible. Rhea won't take it that far. She wants to leave her alive so Becky can watch her on her couch with her daughter and listen to her daughter call Rhea mommy.
Yeah. I liked Becky's reaction to this.
She was really emotional. I didn't write it down verbatim, but she goes on about how proud she is to be a good mother. And then,
she did the thing that's your one. I'll give anybody one. Mm-hmm. That's the one. Yeah, you don't get any more.
Yeah, she brought up her dad, like how her dad didn't get to meet his granddaughter.
Yeah,
and like she'll be damned if somebody's gonna, take the mommy moniker when she's a damn good mother. Things like that. It was like that's like what a mom would do. Like if I'm a shitty mom, it's like the fuck I am a shitty.
Felt real.
Yeah, felt absolutely real. And then she says it might not be a joke to Rhea, but to Becky, it's the same as the title. Becky punches Dom square in the face in the ladies' battle. It was like a straight ass punch.
Yeah, it was a stiff punch.
So then they had backstage with Sami Zayn and Chad Gable. By the way, Sami Zayn is just crying that people are not happy that he's like in the match.
Yeah,
like shut the fuck up.
But man. I'm like interested.
Well, they turned it into an angle.
Like I also think that is. I believed it 100% until this show, and I'm like, oh, that was there. I think they were fucking working the sheets on that one too,
mate.
Because now they got like out of nowhere, they're doing a thing with Chad Gable, and I'm like, I don't know what they're doing, but it's interesting, and it stems right from Sami Zayn, like being upset that
they get us again.
Like
they got
I
me
think
again.
so. I think they like.
I hate that how gullible I'm being here. So backstage, it's Zayn and Gable. Sami's whining that everyone thinks he can't win. Gable is thinking logically and pragmatically. Yeah. He's saying to focus on Bronson Reed and to not get so emotional. Basically, get his head out of his ass. And Zayn's like, I appreciate the feedback.
He's doing the coaching thing, which is his character, which is a lot better than I care more about this because you were mean to my daughter, or mean about my daughter.
Which is what he should have been doing the entire time. Yeah. You lead a faction where you're an Olympic coach.
But now, like, it fits to what he had done prior, and it also is something that I have no idea what they're doing here. No. But they obviously know what they're doing here.
Yeah.
And it makes it interesting.
And with the theme of this WrestleMania being we're just going to kind of wiggle our way backwards and hope for the best, like, why not fucking do it here too, right? Next, it's Sami Zayn against Bronson Reed. I fast forwarded through the match because I knew it was going to happen.
Yeah, I mean they kind of laid out what's going to happen.
Gunther comes out and doesn't do anything. He just stands there, but Zayn's distracted enough where he loses the match to Bronson Reed. Backstage, we have another Sami Zayn Chad Gable promo, and Gable basically is promoting a Rocky IV training montage leading up to WrestleMania, where he's going to get Sami Zayn in shape to fight Gunther, which would be.
But it doesn't feel as goofy as that sounds.
No.
You know what I mean? Like it feel like, oh, this is super interesting. And I don't think it's going to be a silly like headband wearing, montage thing.
Do you think
it's like a serious storyline? Like,
well, yeah, but like,
I have no idea.
It's the same. I like. It's the same like feeling as like, hey, I need your help to help me get ready for the big foreign villain. Like, do you think they're going to play No Easy Way Out or Hearts on Fire?
I would do No Easy Way Out.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if they have the rights to either. Yeah. They don't like to pay for music rights.
Yeah. Both are, but like, if I just want one video of Sammy running so fast that he gets cars to drive off the road completely. That's what they're. If they don't do that, I'm going to be bummed at this point.
But also, they could Gable could turn on him, or he could be like playing him to
just
fuck him over
me,
or something.
Give me a
It's just
Rocky IV
interesting.
training montage video. It's right there.
But the thing that I'm most certain of is that the dirt sheets got worked again.
Yeah.
I really love that they're fucking with the dirt sheets so bad, because everybody got too comfortable just thinking they knew what was going on all the time. It's much more fun if you have no idea what's happening.
It's also more fun when you have a situation like ours where we're not news relying, where we can go hey, they fucking got me.
Yeah.
Earlier we were talking
because
about
we want to enjoy wrestling.
we're
not just know more about it than everybody
you
else.
wouldn't believe what happened. They got backstage. Seth and Jay Uso, and Seth tells Jay that he and Cody have his back tonight. Main event.
Main events of the evening
Is Jay Uso versus Shinsuke Nakamura. I didn't watch the
Not
match,
really,
but
though.
I know that Solo and Jimmy showed up, and then Seth and Cody came out. Cody fights Jimmy to the back, which plays into it's just staging was correct here.
which signaled to me, pay attention.
Yeah.
because
but, how
this
many-
nonsense match that nobody cares about,
Yeah.
it's only there for as a staging element for something interesting is about to happen.
But I've seen guys fight to the back and never be seen again my entire life, and I'm just they're
But
just.
that's what I mean. But the signal it by sticking with it, that's what made it oh shit, something else.
Well, once they
different's
went
happening.
back, yeah. But what I thought was, I'm they're getting rid of those two just because Drew McIntyre comes out and he gives Seth the Future Shock DDT on the outside of the ring. Jay wins with a spear, whatever. And then to your point, they cut to the back, and Cody has a bad time.
Yeah.
Cody.
Somebody was watching Jim Crockett Promotions, old school actual wrestling angle type of shit. The kind of shit that I love.
Yeah, it was
CM Punk MJF feud type of shit.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable.
It was brutal.
The Rock, he's got him in his clutches, right? When they cut back to the back. It's all a blur to me because it's goddamn amazing. Rock is just brutalizing, beating the shit out of him. I don't think Rock hadn't gotten physically involved with anything yet to this point, right? Besides that one terrible slap he did.
Correct.
And at this point, they're backstage. The Rock is beating the fucking shit out of Cody, like stiff, brutal. Like I said, Jim Crockett, whatever. My favorite AEW stuff. That level of stiff ass beatdown.
Yeah.
Made me believe, okay, Rock can go in the ring because look at what he's doing right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just brawl stuff, but Jesus Christ, it was unbelievable.
Yes.
Just beating him senseless the whole time, saying he kept repeating a couple of things in a good way. Oh shit! Do you ever written the?
I watched I blazed through the fight.
It was look at you now. That was one of the look at you now, big guy.
Yeah.
He's just beating the shit out of him. Cody gets nothing in here, just taking a brutal beating.
Yeah.
Brock basically just doing the you asked for it, but now it's real. See, look at you now. Where are you now? Cody's got nothing for it. They fight. They're all the way to the back of the arena. Rock opens up the back door outside, and because God must be a wrestling fan, it's pouring rain. It's John Wick shit. It's unbelievable. And Rock is like, "Oh, look, it's perfect, Chicago. You were pissed at me because I didn't say anything. Well, I'm saying something now, aren't I? Look at your boy. Look at him now. Look at you now." Rock throws Cody into the trailer, to the left of them, hard as shit. Cody kind of falls to the ground. At one point, I thought Rock was going to throw him over that barricade thing. I'm like, he's going to kill Cody Rhodes right now because he would have died if he did that. I don't think this was a coincidence. There's a trailer kind of off in the back distance a little bit with a picture of Stone Cold and John Cena.
They said that was on purpose.
It had to be.
Yeah.
Every other trailer right now has got the WrestleMania stuff all over it.
All the wraps, yeah.
They're showing, it's two Rock's famous opponents, rivals in the past, notable rivals. So I assume those guys are going to show up at WrestleMania too.
Yeah.
But as they cut over to show that, Cody's blading.
Yeah.
Which, God damn it, I love blood so much, and I don't think I've seen it on. What's the last time there was a blade job on WWE? Like the 90s. There's been hard way blood a couple times. The guys get like. I remember Batista did it like without getting the okay, so he got like suspended.
Yeah.
And that was 20 years ago or whatever. Like it had to be like Attitude Era.
I don't remember
Exactly.
like it might have been Great American Bash, or it might have been Judgment Day 2004.
Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah. Like so, Cody Blades with his blonde hair, Ric Flair, awesome, bleeding all over the place. Rock takes off his weight belt and says, "I promised you, Mama Rhodes," talking to now to down the lens of the camera to Cody Rhodes' mother. And the belt says Mama Rhodes, I think.
Yes, it does.
White's, of course, White's weight belts. I told you I was gonna hand you this with his blood and your tears on it, and I'm gonna do exactly what I said. Wipes a bunch of the bleeding Cody's blood off of his face and onto the weight belts. And again, promises Cody's mother that he's gonna give it to her crying ass basically at WrestleMania, and like I said, it was like CM Punk MJF. Like that's the last time I've felt something like this in a lead-in to any pay-per-view on any promotion or whatever. Just is such incredible old school. I don't think I've ever seen The Rock, even in the height of his, first run, be this brutal.
No.
And like work this stiff either. He was like laying shit in.
Yeah.
But now the only problem is I so desperately want to see The Rock and Cody Rhodes have a match that like I don't know if it is like salvageable for Roman. But I'll let it play out because they're hitting on all cylinders to the point now that I'm like, I'm actually going to give them like leeway, which I never thought I'd say about WWE again. But like this episode fucking kicked so much ass, and this was such a great capper.
Yes.
That like, okay, we'll see what happens. I believe that they'll probably come up with something good and it'll work with Roman because like this fucking rules.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm gonna watch. Like we have to watch like all these shows to review them, but I'm looking forward to SmackDown.
Absolutely.
Because I'm like, what the hell are they gonna do here? And then next week is go home week. So. It's gonna be even better somehow. Like we were just saying, like, oh, these are the middle weeks or whatever. But next week is
sometimes the go home, and I'm okay with this because I think I should be kind of the go home show. People always talk about the go home show, but I think the penultimate one, like this one, the best lead-ins, the penultimate show ends up being the one that you really get super fired up for, and then you're just waiting. I'm sure it'll be great, whatever they do for the actual lead-in show. Yeah. But I don't think they can. I don't think it's possible to top this. I also don't know if I would want them to. I think that this is so goddamn such a great way to lead into a pay-per-view that like just add. I need Roman to do something. He needs to get himself back to where he was.
What could he do at this point?
Like same thing. Swerve, the Wardlow thing that I asked for, but didn't get. I just some kind of individual performance. I don't care if it's a promo or it's in the ring or if it's like what Rock did, a beatdown, whatever. Something that makes me say that's him doing that. Yes. That is him stepping up and like showing that he is on the level of these other guys. Right. It's got to be basically from Roman. I don't even care what it is. Just something that is.
I just can't. I can't fathom anything he can do at this point.
But I couldn't have fathomed the end of this Raw before I saw it either. So.
Right, but like there's just I don't know. Rock is the leader of the damn faction. I don't care what they say on television.
He's the biggest star in pro wrestling right now.
So like, poor Roman.
And he Roman put in work, but you know what? Poor Roman shouldn't have signed a contract where he only worked 7 dates a year.
Sure, but also too. We have not given them an ounce of credit leading up to this. Like they might have something just in their back pocket. Yeah, that's going to be like, holy shit, didn't see that coming.
Well, I'm giving them that grace for the first time since I was a teenager, basically. Where I'm like, they might because the shit that they've done already. I'm like,
you know what? They're not going to have a good idea for though. Seth Rollins, because he looks stupid all the time now.
Because, the point, we're at the point with Seth Rollins where the only good idea is to be a different person.
Yeah.
Entirely. But, wrestling is a competitive ass business, and there are always casualties.
Absolutely.
And, that's what I mean. You got to step up.
Yeah.
You can be Wardlow, or you can be Seth, or you can be Swerve.
Yeah.
And Seth had that option. Like we saw Drew McIntyre put in that situation, feet to the goddamn fire, and he came out like smelling like a daisy.
Absolutely
Incredible.
Yeah.
You got to do it when the opportunity arises,
Right.
or when the opportunity forces itself on you.
So
which
next,
is what Roman is dealing with right now.
Yeah. So next week when we're talking about all this, like, could be a completely different story. Like, oh shit, I hope it's a holy shit we didn't see that coming kind of thing.
And even if,
but I don't even need a big swerve at this
point. It's going to be exciting as hell. Just to have The Rock and Cody like in each other's orbit at WrestleMania. I can't believe they went all Jim Crockett Promotions out of Raw.
You get the right people running the company, you get good storytelling.
Bloody the fuck up a blonde-haired babyface at the end of Raw.
Absolutely. Yeah, terrific. Good job. Kudos, WWE.
Yeah, fantastic. Good time to be a pro wrestling fan. As always, thank you guys, everybody, for joining us this week. If you haven't checked it out yet, our AEW iteration of Blue Thunder Pod is going up at the same time right now. Go check that out, as well as the newest episode of Turnbuckle Time Machine. Thanks for joining us. See you next week, everybody.
Goodbye.